When you hear the hearty laugh and familiar voice of the great Gildersleeve tomorrow night, you know you're in for some hilarious adventures. Because wherever Gildy is around, why, somehow things never seem to go as planned. It might be his impulsive nature, or maybe it's his incurable weakness for the fairer sex. But whatever it is, the great Gildersleeve is bound to keep you laughing for a full 30 minutes. Tune in tomorrow night and meet Judge Hooker, Nephew Leroy, Housekeeper Bertie, and all the rest of the friendly people from Somerville as they join the great Gildersleeve. And now stay tuned for X-1 on NBC.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents X-1. Tonight's story, Junkyard, by Clifford D. Simak.
The funny thing about the whole thing was the fact that we had never intended to land on Planet 9. We circled it and decided it was strictly a low-grade affair, wouldn't amount to anything for a billion years or so. As commander of a galactic survey team, I couldn't waste my time on it. Then my exec saw this junkyard through the telescope. We landed, took a look at a load of alien machine parts discarded by some other spaceship, and then prepared to take off for Earth. It had all been a waste of time.
Engine room, MacGyver.
This is Commander Warren. All secure?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Countdown for blastoff.
Engine room ready, sir.
X-5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Fire. Mac, what's wrong down there?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Brady, get the data analyzer ready. We'll have to correct for a new takeoff time.
That's the first time I ever heard of engine failure before takeoff.
Well, better before than after. Engine room?
Yes, sir.
What's happening? You boys ready yet?
No, sir.
Well, burn it, man. Get going. I want those engines started.
Sir,
What is it?
I don't quite know what to say.
Well, say something or I'll have you busted.
We can't start the engines, Commander. At least I can't.
Well, why not?
I don't know.
Klein, put Klein on.
Lieutenant Klein, sir.
Lieutenant, what is going on down there? Is there something wrong with the engines?
No, sir. I've double-checked them.
Well, then let's get them heated up or we'll be on this godforsaken planet the rest of our lives.
We can't do it, sir.
Klein, suppose you tell me exactly why you can't start the engines. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, why?
Because, sir, we can't remember how.
What?
Yes, sir. We've forgotten how to start the engine.
Lieutenant, report up here in 1 minute. Bring Dr. Spencer with you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brady, where have you got it?
Got what, Ira?
Don't play innocent. You and I have been doing planet surveys together for 15 years. You carry enough dead weight in grain alcohol on every trip to keep you happy for 1,000,000 light years. Now, obviously, the boys in the engine room have gotten into it.
Impossible.
Where is it?
I got a few fifths in my locker, but nobody's touched it. I checked a few minutes ago.
Well, then somebody has got some in the engine room. Come in.
Lieutenant Klein, sir, I brought Dr. Spencer as ordered.
Hello, Doc. Did Klein here tell you what's going on?
He did.
How long will it take you to get these guys sobered up?
I can't.
Why not?
Because they're not drunk. I tested Klein in my office.
Now, wait a minute, Doc. Are you trying to get me to actually believe that these men, intergalactic engineers with years of hyperfission experience, have forgotten how to start the engines of this ship?
That's right.
You're serious?
Dead serious, Ira. Something, somehow, has caused these men to forget how to start the engines.
There it was. It fit in perfectly with a lot of other annoying little things that have been happening to us ever since we put down on Planet 9. It was to have been a routine exploration of a low-grade, uninhabited planet. Some routine exploration. All right, Klein, now listen to me. Do you have manuals aboard, engineering manuals?
Yes, sir.
Take the engine room boys and study those manuals. They'll tell you how to start the ship, won't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay, get going. Doc, I'd like you to stay here with me and Brady for a minute.
Okay.
Report back to me, Klein.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Doc, you're supposed to be an expert on space medicine. What is it?
I've never seen anything like it, Ira.
Brady?
Search me, Captain. I've seen 'em with space blues, alien psychoses, the works. But I've never seen a disease that could make a crew forget how to start the engines.
Maybe it isn't a disease.
Okay, what then?
Maybe it's a deliberate thing.
You mean they're faking?
No, I know Klein and the others too well for that. I mean, maybe there's some outside influence.
Doc, we've surveyed this planet from top to bottom. We know there isn't a living cell on it.
What about the junkyard?
What junkyard?
Oh, he means that pile of rusty space engine parts we found. The boys nicknamed it the junkyard.
He's right. Somebody put it there.
Well, we know that another spaceship landed here. We know that from the blast marks on the rock. We know that for some unexplained reason they took their engine apart and tried to put it together again. We know they succeeded in building a much simpler engine, leaving a lot of spare parts, and we know that they took off. The blast-off marks tell us that, too.
What we don't know is whether or not they left somebody behind. Or something.
What about that stone tower, Ira?
The boys looked it over. It's just a pile of stones. They probably threw them together as a shelter while they were rebuilding their engine.
Oh, that sounds too simple.
I don't like that tower, Ira.
Why not?
I don't know. It was scary. It had that black look about it. The smell of death. I felt it when I walked past with Klein and MacIver.
Oh, that's the Celt in you. Banshees and spooks.
I still don't like it. I need a drink.
Skip it. We should be ready to blast off in a few minutes. Engine room. Engine room. What's going on down there? Engine room. Lieutenant Klein.
Daddy? Is that you, Daddy? Did you bring me a present? Daddy, I'm scared.
Holy mackerel, that's Klein. He's gone off his rocker. Klein! Doc, I think we better get down to that engine room. When Doc examined Klein, he found him to have the mind and memory of a 6-year-old.
That's it, Ira. Something drained Klein of his memory. And that's as much as I can tell you.
Well, that's a big help.
Here's the manual he was reading.
Well, at least we can follow this manual and get off this stinking planet. Hand it to me.
Right here. Anything wrong, Ira? Is it all there?
It's all here, Doc. This is the engine manual that tells all about the engines. How they operate, how to locate trouble, how to fix them, how to start them.
Well, what is it then? You're sweating like a pig.
All of a sudden, I can't remember the symbols. Doc, I've forgotten how to read. I left the engine room and went out through the lock to stand on the outside platform of the ship. I looked over the junkyard where the metal of the rusted engine parts gleamed. There was a riddle there. A riddle we hadn't been able to figure out. Why had an alien spaceship landed here, ripped out its engines, and then put together a simple, less efficient engine and taken off again? And they had worked in an awful hurry, judging by the mess they left. Why? Why?
Mind if I join you, Ira?
No, help yourself, Doc. How's Klein?
We've made him some toys. He's playing with them. I've assigned Mac to see that he doesn't hurt himself.
Doc.
Yes?
Have you got any ideas on what's happening to us?
Well, man experiences incidents, gathers knowledge, knows emotions. Then, as he grows older, he begins to forget those experiences, forget that knowledge. That's what life is, a long series of forgettings. Here, on 9, in some impossible way, the forgetting is speeded up. It happens overnight.
No, there's more to it than that. Well, I'm going back to my cabin and try to get some rest.
That you, Ira?
That's me, Batters.
What gives?
We're in a jam.
There's been planets I wouldn't mind being marooned on, you know. But this ain't one of them. There's something here, Ira. I can feel it.
Yes, I can feel it myself. Maybe we should have looked around more.
Klein looked around. Klein was the one found that tower.
Brady, that's right. He did.
He said he didn't like it. He said it scared him.
In the morning, Bad Ears, we'll go and see that tower. In the morning, I took Doc and McIver and Brady with me, and we walked across the valley to the stone tower. It wasn't much of a tower, maybe 8 or 9 feet high, made of rocks piled one on top of the other.
Pretty solid. Well built and odd. Type F culture, I'd say.
Did anybody bother to look inside this thing? McIver, you were here with Klein yesterday.
Yes, sir. We couldn't find a way in, Captain. Klein poked around but gave up.
Well, we'll make a way in. Stand back. I think I can shoot the top off it. Oh, now that should be big enough for a man to lower himself into. Okay, pass a rope around my shoulders.
Captain.
Yes?
In case there's anything, well, dangerous, maybe I ought to go. After all, I'm survey engineer.
McIver's right, Ira.
Okay, Mac, your responsibility.
Yes, sir. Just fasten the rope under my arms.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Now, I'll climb up and lower myself in. If I pull twice, haul me out. 1 pull means okay. Give me a hand, Brady. Huh?
How about a quick shot of whiskey first?
Never touch it. Ready? Yep.
Can you see inside?
Black as a tomb. I'm going to lower myself. Pay out a little rope. Well, it's been lovely. Here we go.
One tug. He's on the ground inside.
Yeah, I wonder what he's found.
I still don't like it.
Oh, Brady, there's probably not a thing in there except a few... There's 2 tugs. 3. Come on, haul them out.
Brady, help him through the top.
Right. Easy now, Mac. What the heck is in there, anyway? Mac? Mac?
Dada.
Holy jumping asteroids. Doc, he's flipped.
No, he hasn't lost his mind. He's just reverted to babyhood.
We stood there at the foot of the tower, stunned. McIver sat on the ground, happy as a clam, playing with his fingers and talking happy little nonsense syllables. Doc, take a look at him. Make sure that he's okay physically.
Check. If it's fright, his pulse will be way up. Mac, let me have your hand. That's a good fellow. Now. Good heavens.
What is it?
I've forgotten what the normal pulse rate is. Pulse?
Doc, let's get out of here. Brady, pick up McIver and bring him back to the ship. Come on, let's get away from this tower. A few minutes later, Brady and I sat in the captain's quarters. He didn't do much talking, just sat and tipped his bottle to his lips ever so often. Well, at least we know in a general way what we're up against.
Do we?
We know there's been knowledge lost, important information forgotten.
Check.
Now, that memory, that lost skill, that knowledge went somewhere. Maybe there's something in that tower that takes it away. And I have a silly feeling we might even get it back.
Have a drink.
Bad Ears, get a couple of men, volunteers.
Now?
Now.
What for?
We're going to find out what's inside that tower. We lowered a rotating infrared movie camera into the tower, took some pictures, and went back to the ship for a look. There was something in there, all right.
Now, as far as we can determine, this thing we photographed is shaped like a watermelon standing on end. The movement of the hairs all over it suggests vibrations, such as an antenna of an insect. Underneath are wires leading to terminals that seemed plugged right into the thing.
You think it's a form of life?
My guess is a combination of living organism and machine. After all, man and machines work together. The difference is that man retains his individual identity.
Well, since it doesn't locomote, somebody or something must have put it there.
Exactly.
It looks like some kind of communication organism.
If it is, it's a communication machine that is built to take in information rather than pass it along.
Doc, do you really think that egg in there has been stealing our memory?
Why not?
Well, because it's too wild. That's why not.
It's no wilder than a lot of other things we found. Say that egg is a device for gathering knowledge.
But there's no knowledge here to gather. I mean, how often does a ship land on an out-of-the-way melon like this?
Wait a minute, Brady. Who says that knowledge has to be collected here?
What?
I said, why do we assume that knowledge has to be collected right here on Planet 9? We forget things back on Earth, don't we?
Good Lord.
Suppose you were some race setting out fish traps for knowledge, and you had plenty of time to gather it. Where would you put your traps? On a planet swarming with intelligent beings where the traps would be found and destroyed or their secrets snatched away? Or would you put them out on some second-rate world where nobody would ever bother them?
Good heavens, I'd pick a spot just like this.
Let me fill in this picture, Doc. I think that some unknown race is bent on trapping knowledge throughout the galaxy.
Ira, if what you say is true, if it is, then every time someone on Earth forgets something, it's because one of these eggs has drained it out of him.
Well?
It's too fantastic.
Have you got a better guess?
No.
The question is, what do we do next? If anybody gets near that egg, he winds up like some puling little baby.
You were pretty near it that first day. Did you forget anything?
Well, how should I know? I was too pleasantly lit up on grain spirits to know the difference.
Well, the question is still, what now?
I'm going outside to think.
Ira.
Yes?
There is one thing to keep in mind.
What is that, Doc?
If those are memory traps, then there must be a way for somebody to empty them. And if we're ever going to get away from here, what's gone in has got to come out.
I stood out on the platform of the ship and tried to make some sort of pattern of it. Forgetfulness. That was the key word. All through the galaxy, in every culture, there was forgetfulness. There were lots of learned theories, of course, kinks in the brain, neuroses, data processing. But suppose they were wrong. Might it not be that forgetfulness was caused by thousands upon thousands of these memory traps planted throughout the galaxy, nibbling away at the conscious memory of all the sentient beings that lived among the stars? On Earth, a man forgets slowly because the traps are far away. But here, in their very shadow, a man forgets suddenly. And then another thought entered my mind. What kind of race had set these traps? How did they empty them? How? Brady.
Huh?
Where do you keep your liquor?
Not cheap.
Come on, where?
It's in my locker.
Get it out of there, all of it.
Ira.
That's a direct order.
Okay.
All of it. That it?
Yeah. I never thought I'd see the day when you pulled rank on me, Ira. If you confiscate this stuff, so help me, I'll never
Who
forgive
said
you.
anything about confiscating? That is, have you ever really hung one on? I mean, just got pie-eyed drunk?
Let's see. Yeah, there was once on Mars.
Was that the worst?
It was beautiful. Took me 3 days to sober up. They say I fought off the whole galactic patrol for hours.
Well, do you think you got enough here to get that polluted again?
I got a pretty good supply, Ira.
Well, that's good, because in 1 minute, I'm going to give you a direct order to hang on the biggest, most monstrous drunk in the entire history of the universe. But first you have to volunteer.
I volunteer.
No, not until I explain why I'm doing this.
Ira, this sort of project don't need reasons. It's a pleasure.
Let me finish. You know that egg up in the tower?
Yeah?
The minute you get near it, it grabs your mind, wipes it clean, right?
Yeah.
And a lead space helmet doesn't shield you, as we saw with MacIver.
Right.
Now, Doc thinks this egg is a kind of communications thing.
It must be.
Okay, you're a communications man. What do you do when you can't shield a communication?
Well, that's easy. You scramble it. Any fool knows. Holy mackerel.
Exactly. Are you still game?
You think it'll work?
I don't know. I think it might.
Well, suppose it doesn't.
You'd be a babbling infant like Klein and MacIver.
If we don't stop that thing, it'll happen anyway.
Unless we can remember how to start the engines.
Okay, Ira. I'll do it. When do I start?
Right now.
Well, Ira, here's mud in your ever-loving intergalactic eyeballs. You know something? I'm beginning to like this mission already.
Well, that kills the last bottle.
How am I doing, Ira, old buddy?
You're not drunk enough. I should have picked somebody like Doc, except he'd probably pass out.
I'm not drunk enough, huh, old buddy pal?
Not yet.
Well, then, in which case, old buddy, I'm going to have to do something I never like to have to do.
What's that?
I'm going to have to go into my extra special emergency reserve supply. It's a little supply I keep in case of getting marooned on a planet, you know? I don't like to go into it, but in this case, it's my duty. Wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. A rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a heck of an engineer. Woo! Blast off!
Okay, I guess you're ready. What do you think, Doc?
Most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Is he drunk enough?
What I want to know is what's keeping him conscious.
Okay, Bad Ears, on your feet. Help him up, Doc.
Right.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Let's go, Bad Ears.
Right. Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Somehow we pushed, hauled, and stumbled Bad Ears Brady out of the ship and up the rocks to the egg tower. We erected a tripod over the hole with a block and tackle, passed a rope around Brady's chest, and hauled him over the entrance to the tower. There he swung like some overstuffed pig, singing raucously under the eerie moonlight.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech.
Well, what do you say, Ira?
We got the earphones on him so they can't slip off.
They're on.
Well, I guess we're ready to lower him.
Ira.
Yep.
You sure? It's a man's life.
I'm not sure, Doc. But as commander of this expedition, I sometimes have to risk the lives of my men.
Okay, Ira.
Lower away before I start to get sober. Lower away. Blast off. Fire one. Fire two. Bon voyage, Ira.
Good luck, Brady. Good luck.
He's at the bottom, Ira.
Bad Ears, can you hear me?
Get your hands out of my hair. Something's got his hands in my hair, Ira.
Oh, the thing must be picking at his brain. Brady, listen to me. Do you see the egg?
See it? It's my buddy, Ira. My little old egghead buddy. You and me's buddy's egghead, right? Have a drink.
Oh, good Lord, he's got a bottle with him. He's pouring it on the egg. Brady, listen to me. The wires.
Wires?
The lead wires you took in with you.
Yeah.
Pull out the studs on the egg and hook your wires to it. You got that?
Just a minute. Me and Egghead's got to have a drink.
Oh, good heavens. It's no use, Ira. He's too drunk to know what he's doing.
I'll try again. Brady, listen. Your friend, the egg, can't hear you, see? He can't have a drink until you hook your wires into him. You got that?
Sure. That's an awful thing. That's dreadful. Okay.
What's he doing? Doc, you getting any impulses?
Not a thing.
Maybe we better haul him out. If he starts to sober up...
Maybe we'd better.
Okay, 1, 2...
Wait a minute, wait.
What?
I'm getting something, Ira. What? This is fantastic. Oh, I'm getting something.
All right, haul him out, quick. Come on.
Rambling wreck from Georgia Tech. Rambling...
Brady, are you all right? Doc, help me. Take a look at him. Is he okay?
Yes, he's okay. Just passed out.
Let's get him back to the ship.
Right. You know what, Ira?
What?
Tomorrow about 9 a.m., we're going to be in on the most colossal hangover in the history of mornings after.
We were in on more than Doc Spencer had bargained for. More than any human being had any business being in on.
Oh.
Well, Brady, how do you feel?
Shoot me.
You turned the trick. The tower. You hooked into the egg. The stuff is rolling out now. Doc and the boys have got a recording hooked up. The stuff they're listening in on is enough to set your teeth on edge.
What stuff?
The information that mind trap has been collecting for hundreds of years. It'll take us years to sort it out, but we're getting some of it straight already.
Any of our own stuff?
Plenty.
Anything on engines?
Well, not on our engines.
So?
We got the dope on the junkyard engine. Mac and the boys are helping to get it assembled. We're ripping out our own engines and just keeping some of the parts.
Another junkyard, huh?
Another junkyard. The engine we're building now is superior to anything ever built.
Pretty handy little gadget, that egg. Only one thing.
What's that?
Tell Doc if he comes across a good hangover remedy to let me know, huh? Oh.
It took us about 6 days to assemble new engines using some of our parts and some of the advanced designs from the junkyard. During most of that time, Doc Spencer sat down at the tower with a set of headphones monitoring the information from the egg. He was like a man possessed. I didn't think anything unnatural was happening until the night of the 6th day. Well, that does it. The boys have got the engines ready for blast-off. There's a full moon, too.
We should be able to lift her by tomorrow morning, huh?
We're blasting off in exactly 1 minute, that is.
What?
In exactly 1 minute.
But Ira, Doc, and some of the techno boys are down monitoring that egg.
I know it.
Well, it'll take them 20 minutes to get back into the ship with all that equipment.
They're not getting back.
Huh?
I said they're not getting back.
Ira, are you nuts?
Come here, that is. I want you to take a look through this field scope. You can get a good close-up of Doc and the boys who have been monitoring that egg.
Now, wait till I get it focused.
You got 'em?
Yeah?
Take a close-up.
Mother in heaven.
You see why we have to leave them here?
Those faces, they're like some kind of beast. What is it, Ira? What's happened to
The
them?
same thing that must have happened to the crew of the last ship that touched here. The same thing that made them blast out of here in such a tearing hurry.
What?
That is, there isn't only knowledge in that thing. Those boys are monitoring something else.
Something else.
Personality, that is. They're not human anymore. They're turning alien. They were still there when the ship roared up away from Planet 9 and pointed her silver nose toward Earth. We could see them in the scopes. A group of tiny figures crouched over the recording equipment, their earphones plugged into the egg. They didn't even look up when we blasted off. They were no longer human now. They were something else. Something 1,000,000 light years old and of another world.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Hey, good morning, weirdos. It's me again. I won't let you down. I'm here. I'm moving forward. I'm trying. I'm not trying to go forward because you know where forward gets you. Get you to the end of the race. I'm like the turtle, right? Slow and steady wins the race. That's me. So how's it going out there in the world? I try to avoid the world in general. And if I can avoid the world in general, then maybe a kernel, at least a kernel, just a little kernel of it. Generally speaking. Yeah. Well, in case you can't notice, I cleaned my room. The wife helped me, and we stripped this place down to the carpet and vacuumed. I vacuumed like 5 times. We got dogs, so there's the hair factor. So I vacuumed like 5 times and used Febreze, and then came back and went, oh man, some specks of stuff. So I vacuumed again. And then I also got to work on the vent, the duct coming out of my swamp cooler. That's got to come out, and it's got to angle straight up and shrink from almost a 20-inch square down to a 4x10 rectangle, right? And I did it. I made 4 pieces out of paper and cut them to shape. Actually taped the whole thing together in the shape of the duct, using the tape as I would flanges to screw it together, and it came out beautifully. I set it up and taped it and set it there. My wife went, oh my God, that's it. That's the thing you were talking about. And she was like clueless as to what the hell what was in my head until I created it and sat it down in front of her, and she's like, oh my God. Of course, she's Mexican, so it's, por el amor de Dios. So now I have to transfer the shapes that I have onto metal, add room for the tabs so that I can assemble it. And I can cut all these pieces out, and then sit down and very meticulously screw everything together and tape it all up nice and snug, and then squeeze it onto that thing. And bada boom, I can then go into a round, 6-inch round tube, metal duct, and come up and angle again and shoot up over the top of my cabinet here and split off into 2 ducts. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, this afternoon I will be moving things aside. I wanted to clean the room so that I would have a clean floor to lay my metal out on and sit down and tape all of my paper pieces down onto the metal, and then draw everything out, and then draw on all of the tabs. Two of the pieces have to have tabs so that we can grab onto the other 2 pieces with the tabs and hold it together. That's it. Put tab A in slot B and wiggle it around. That's because it's supposed to be in slot A, you dummy. It's too small for slot B. That's why it wiggles. So I'll be working on that, and hopefully get that duct done and installed so the air comes in and goes straight up. And then it will run into a rectangular duct register that then goes into a 6-inch round duct. It'll be fun. Fun on a bun. Not as much fun as my show last night. That was pretty fun. That was really, really fun. I worked out a new intro so that I can play my weekly programming, and it runs right into my show. So it goes commercial, weekly programming into my show, and that comes off of almost a half an hour of Walmart music and commercials. So we'll go from Walmart music and commercials into the last song on that is Puff the Magic Dragon, my favorite childhood song. So after Puff the Magic Dragon, it goes into a commercial, and then goes into the weekly programming, and then goes into my opening theme, and then the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show starts. So the pre-show, when I push play on this thing, is at about it's at about 4:28 in the afternoon is when I push play on this thing, because it's just over 30 minutes. So I'm gonna figure out how to time it so that when I push play on this, regardless of whether I'm live or not, it starts playing, and then whenever I can get my computer to live stream me, that will be playing during the opening pre-show, and then it'll just flow right into a commercial and programming, and then my intro, and then my show starts. And I'm going to do the same thing with the exit. Do a little exit dance with the closing sequence, and more weekly programming, and perhaps another commercial, and try to set it up so that every week all I have to do is just drop in the new weekly programming, save it, and I've got my intro and outro for the week, right? I've got all of next week's programming in the can. It's ready. It's ready to premiere. All I have to do now is create the weekly program guide, which takes about an hour-ish. To do all of the graphics. And basically, I create a Monday page. Here's what's happening on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I take those pages, and then I add them to a wood grain panel, and I can share them on Facebook. I add them to a square wood grain panel, and now I upload them to YouTube Community once a week as the weekly programming. So if you're looking around, you go to the community section on YouTube, and you'll see the program guide there and what's happening. What's going on, man? This is what's going on. And then I'll take those same cards, the PNG cards, the graphics that kind of hang in midair, right? And I'll take those graphics and then upload them into the video, and then create a new video. It literally takes an hour to create my graphics, and then within an hour and a half, I've got all of my graphics done for the weekly programming. I got my weekly programming guide done. I've got everything uploaded to their locations, right? And then I take that weekly programming guide, I slip it into the opener video on my channel, and bada bing bang boom. Bada friggin' bing bang boom. It's that easy. So with free time that I have during the rest of this week, I will be creating more X-1s for the month of August. I will probably create all of the X-1 graphics for August, which is about 40 shows-ish. Yeah, 4 weeks, 5 shows a week, about. And then I'll just sit here and grab an audio, grab a graphic that matches it, throw it into the program, and set it up so that it fades, the volume is correct, and that's it. Hit save, and it saves out. It takes 30 or 40 minutes to save, and then I dump in some more stuff. I just go back, swap out the sound, swap out the graphic, readjust, hit save. So it only takes me a few minutes to get in and work on a show, an X-1 show. Same thing, go in, create a bunch of graphics, and I'll sit down with all the shows, and it's like I'll just bang out the titles, bang, 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 knock out all the titles for the shows, and then go to the editing program, go to my X-1 show, delete the old sound, bring in the new sound, delete the old graphic, bring in the new graphic, arrange it so that it fades and does its stuff correctly, and then hit save, and it's that easy. So I'll be working on X-1s for August. I'll be working on programming for the rest of this month, which is one more week of programming. Next week's in the can. The week after that, it's only 3 days of July, and then we're into August. So I will be looking into the programming for August. And what do we got? We got 4 full weeks plus the 2 days at the end of the month. All right, so that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. So yeah, so we're going to get 40 more X-1s in August. We'll finish up. That's incredible. We'll continue with In Search Of and Nova. I'm just going to drop something into That's Incredible spot. I don't know what. Probably just another one of these educational films. You know, I might find an educational film series. You know, something historical. Try to find a 4-part educational film series on you know, ancient Greece or Mesopotamia or something, you know, something kooky. Something that I would have been into as a kid in the 6th, 7th grade. I was really starting to get into history and archaeology and anthropology and cavemen. And my father had this great book from his anthropology class, The Emergence of Man. I think I actually have a copy somewhere in my boxes of books, so I'm going to have to just dig, right? My wife is helping me put stuff away in this room yesterday, and she says, what do you need this for? Why do you have that in here? I said, because if I don't have it in here, where occasionally I will see it, I will forget about it, and then I will not do what I'm supposed to do with it. She's like, this old radio? I said, exactly. I said, I need to drag it out, and I need to sit there and meticulously get all of the paint off of the face of this thing, and refurbish it. I mean, it needs to be, all the white needs to come off, and it needs to go back to wood, it needs to be sanded and stained, and I need to redo the speaker and the speaker material. It's a huge project. So if I just leave it away somewhere, it'll never get done. So I really literally have to leave it out where I can see it, out of sight, out of mind. It's like that. So I gotta eat something, man. I'm going on like too many hours with no food. Totally. So, see, my daughter's got it together. She eats regularly. Every couple of hours she's eating something. Not huge, not big. She's keeping that metabolism fed and balanced. I don't do that. I'm not really good about eating. I should snack on something every couple hours, right? Have a big meal every 4 to 6 hours and snack on something every couple of hours in between, right? It's the way humans were, you know. We were grazers, we were scavengers, and we would just walk around and feed all day. Walk around and pick stuff up and eat it, you know. Hunters, gatherers, scavengers. We were just, you know, always eating, and that's the way our metabolism is set up, to just, you know, constantly feeding that energy. And I don't do that. I'll go hours and hours and hours without eating, and then I'll eat something and then do it again. And it's not right. It's like when my daughter went to the college the other day for the orientation, all-day orientation. She was there all day. She literally had one meal in the morning, she had a lunchtime meal, and then she had an evening meal. And she said that was the most worst day ever. She said only being able to eat 3 times sucked. She said I was starving the whole day. I said, okay, well, now you know. when you're packing stuff for school every day, you're going to be down there every day from 9 in the morning till 6, 7 o'clock at night, okay? So you have to have your act together, all right? That is a long friggin' day. It's not a 12-hour day. It's a 10-hour day. She's not used to those long days. She's used to having a nap in between classes during those long days, which means she's going to have to readjust. She's going to have to figure out where and how to get a nap in somewhere on those 2 days at school. I said, you know what? Get it so you show up in the morning, you go in, you do work, and then you take a nap. At some point before your first class, you take a nap. Because her classes start later in the day. Her friends' classes start in the afternoon, in the morning, and then go through the afternoon. So at some point, one of them is sitting around with nothing to do, right? I said, well, there you go. There's your work time. There's the time that you will devote to all of that schoolwork, so that when you get home, you got minimal, right? Just very little to deal with. And knowing that you're going to have those mornings, you can say, oh, you know what? I've only got this, and it doesn't have to be turned in till then, so I'm just going to wait and do it in the morning on that day, right? Go for it. You know, plan it so that you do as little as possible, as often as possible. And take your food with you. I said, all right, we're going to get you a nice big cooler to put in the car to keep all of your stuff nice and cold, because it's a hot mofo down there. Right now it's 120 degrees in that area on a regular basis. Of course, when she starts, it will be at the end of that, and from then on it'll be cooling. But she's going to go through a month of just horrible hot. So I said, all right, so we get you a nice, big, heavy-duty, thick-walled cooler with a real top on it. Some big, heavy-duty frozen stuff to put in there to keep everything cool. And you put all of your food in there. All of it, your drinks, your sandwich stuff, your bread, your chips, everything. Put it in there, keep it from going bad. And then you get there in the morning and you've got a small lunch bag that's nice and cold, but you take that with you. It's got your cold drink, your cold snacks, everything you need until you get back to the car again for lunch. Then you swap it out for lunch stuff. Take that with you. You have that with you the rest of the day. Make sure you have your snacks for your evening. Bada bing. And you'll have 2 keys to the car, so somebody can get to the car, make lunch, take the lunch, go to the lunch spot, meet for lunch, have lunch. One person eats lunch, one person waits to eat lunch. One person, the schedule is slightly fine. Then make the lunch, take the lunch with you, give this person their lunch, they eat their lunch, you hold on to your lunch until you're ready to eat your lunch. Or you eat first and then here's your lunch. Vice versa. However it works out so that you get the most out of your time, you have the least worries, you're as comfortable as possible, and you have that peace of mind to get shit done, right? And she's gone through this for 14 years of schooling, right? She just came off of 2 years of college and earned 3 degrees doing it. So I have no doubt that she's going to be able to knock this out. It's going to be a slight learning curve. The university learning curve, getting used to bigger classes, more work, having to be out in the world more. That's the big thing. Having to be out there more. She's not used to that. She's used to going to the campus 10 minutes down the road, 8 minutes down the road, going to class, getting picked up, coming home, having lunch, having a snack or whatever, and then taking a nap and then going back to school 8 minutes down the road. It's going to change. Now she's got to grow up a little bit more, and she's got to do a little more adult performing, That's cool. Baby steps, man. Fade into it slowly, I honestly hope that she doesn't go out into the workforce until she's graduated from the university or gotten her bachelor's or master's or PhD or whatever. Stay with it. And as long as I'm here alive, as long as Mom is here alive, able to work and make things happen at home, worry about your head. Worry about your future, you know. That's important. We're going to need a lot of smart people in the near future to help get us through the bullshit that's coming. You know, a good portion of humanity can survive, but we're going to need a lot of help from a lot of smart people. I mean, we're creeping so close to the edge here. It's not going to take much to push everything into a horrible situation. You know, what the hell's he talking about? Well, you'll know. You'll know. Things are going that way now. I mean, look what's happening with the weather. You know, heat wave here, torrential downpours in China. China's completely flooded. You know, the oceans are going to rise so quick, and then they're going to die so quick. Right? It's going to be science stepping up, trying to figure out ways to fix things. And they're going to fall way short. I mean, because we've already fallen short. We knew exactly what was coming. We knew how to fix it. We knew, and we did nothing about it. And those that did were laughed at. Right? All of the people who kept trying to warn us, you know, all of the Al Gores and the Greta Thunbergs out there, they kept trying to tell us, you know, something's going to happen. You know, from Earth Day number 1 in 1970, we knew something was going to happen. And we just, woo, let's party. You know, that's humans. That's a human for you. You know, hey, you're going to die. Fucking hey, let's party then. Well, you could fix it. Oh, fuck it, let's just party. But you could live, oh, fuck it. Okay. So there you go. So now we're on the actual brink. There's no turning back. You know, there's no more food. There's no more water. You know, clean air is at a premium. It's getting hot. Once the oceans warm up, they're going to die. You know, you see these dolphins and porpoises and stuff, entire pods of these things beaching themselves and dying. Well, it ain't the poles that's fucking with them. It's us. The oceans are warming. They're polluted. It's a disgusting place. They don't want to live in a toilet anymore. They'd rather die. They'd rather kill themselves. You know, animals can commit suicide. They can, you know, just like elephants have a graveyard, right? A place that they go to at the end of their life to die. Why would it not be possible for dolphins and whales to want to commit suicide? Because they just, I can't deal with this thing wrapped around me anymore. I got this fishing stuff wrapped around me and it's killing me. It's choking me. Fuck it, I'm just going to die. So they beach themselves. You know, animals don't have emotions. Fuck you. Of course they have emotions. You ever hear a dog cry? Huh? Idiot. You ever hear a cat mewing? Right? A bird. Even birds have emotions. Come on. Lizards, frogs, everything's got some kind of feeling or emotion or capacity to think. Of course, if we can't associate human attributes to them, then they're insentient. They're non-sentient beings, right? That's bullshit, too. I mean, all beings are sentient, right? All beings fear death and know they're alive, you know, and know that, you know, that things happen around them for reasons, right? What those reasons are, they cannot comprehend. But they're just different. just because they're not exactly like us don't mean that they don't have emotions and feelings and, you know, wants. Yeah. Totally. Where was I? Still coming out of this frickin' depression. At least trying to get out of it. If I keep busy, I can stay away from it. I can stay ahead of the game. If I slow down for a second, it catches up with me, and then all of a sudden I'm just, you know, buckets of misery being poured on me. What are you going to do, right? I don't know. I just don't know. Kind of dark on this side, huh? Last night I did the show without lights. I just did it with the lights of the screens and the light coming through, the sunlight coming through my orange curtain here. So I was kind of bathed in this orange light. And then of course up behind me here, the lava lamps area, it gets even more orange with that light and the light of the lava. It's really cool. It was great. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do more shows in the dark like that, you know. It's pretty cool. I wish I could do like a candlelit show, but it's just too hot to have a candle burning. Oh, that needs heat. Oh, my word. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. So, how's it going? How's tricks? I'm, I had some lungs full of crap this morning. Just getting over that flu thing. And, yeah, it's no fun. It's not as bad as it's been before. I've had some really bad flu situations. But in the last few years since we started, you know, first of all, recognizing when you're getting sick and then start eating healthy, really healthy. I mean, we try to eat healthy as we can, homemade foods and stuff. But really make an effort to eat good all the time and cut out sugary snacks and try to drink more liquids and, you know, and then on top of that, try to take in some supplements, some vitamin C, some echinacea, and try to fortify the body to help get through whatever it is that's going on. So I came through it really, really well. My daughter came through it really, really well. Charlie is still got a really bad cough, but then again, I don't know Charlie's health, and I don't know how Charlie comes through the flu and cold and that kind of stuff, you know. When you know somebody for a long time, you know, okay, well, you know, as usual, we're going to work through this and we're going to get out of this in a couple of days. And I've got my daughter at that point now, where she sees she's getting sick, she starts doing the supplements, starts taking care of herself a little better, get a lot of rest, drink a lot of fluids, and she works hard at taking care of herself for those couple of days, and she's through it just like me. My wife, she's got that cough lung thing lingering on a little bit longer. I'm always coughing. I'm a smoker, or not a cigarette smoker. I used to be, but I'm a pot smoker, right? So the cigarette smokers and pot smokers tend to have a stronger ability to fight off things having to do with your lungs. I don't know what it is, but you get smokers who smoke cigarettes, and they tend to have fewer colds or flus or that kind of stuff. I don't know what it is. You know, they're coughing, they're getting rid of stuff a lot more. It was like that with COVID. They were saying, well, you know, people who smoke marijuana are more likely to be able to deal with the lung effects of COVID because their lungs are, you know, I don't know what the deal was. But it was kind of weird to hear something like that and then to kind of feel it in practice. But yeah, my daughter getting better. Me getting better. I mean, I just got a couple of symptoms every once in a while. Nothing major. The main thing is I'm groggy for longer in the mornings. I tend to lose my energy quicker. But that's probably the biggest thing that happens to me when I get sick. You know, is I lose energy. So just try to take care. You know, that's the best you can do. Just take care of yourself, you know. No bong hits today. I'm going to try to avoid the bong hits. I'm just doing little tokers here. My little one-hitter, little bat box. Anybody out there that I am familiar with? I was kind of hoping that I'd see Dan stop by. A friend of mine, Dan, from down in Carlsbad, Oceanside area. Haven't seen him in, years. The last time I saw him, I was looking to make some money, and I went down and ran into him, and he had a little work for me restoring a Tron video game console, an arcade game, right? So I stripped down the exterior and painted all of the whole thing. And then left him to do the decals. I don't want to be responsible for decals. So I just did the painting work on it. And then, of course, actual work came up, and I had to run away, and then never saw him again. So how'd that video game thing come out? You still got it? Did you still play it? Did you just sell it? He was my employer, friend and employer in Carlsbad when I was working in plastics. I was working in plastics for quite a while, 5 or 6 years in plastics at 2 different companies. It was a fun job. I loved it. In fact, last night when I was fabricating that thing out of paper to make it into metal, my wife looks at me and goes, "Where did you learn this?" And crap. I was in plastics, prototypes. I made samples. So I'm used to taking nothing and creating something out of it, taking an idea or a drawing and then turning it into an actual thing. Not to mention the fact that I've been in construction most of my life. I've seen guys do this. You know, I've witnessed these things being done countless of times. I've watched shows about this kind of stuff, construction stuff, you know, and nothing leaves my frickin' head. It stays there. When I need it, it just pops in, you know, or at least I would hope that it does. So how did I create that last night? I created it because it's always been in my head, you know. That stuff's always been up there. The abilities, they've always been there. I just got to tune into it, you know. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Weekend's coming up. On this weekend, of course, I will send out more messages to people, see who I can get rolling, getting on the ball, and do this reunion thing. I don't want to go it alone. If I plan it alone, nobody's going to show up because it'll be my thing. I need it to be somebody else's thing, right, as well, so that it gets done. I can do a lot of the work, planning and carrying on and carrying out tasks, but I need someone else involved to deal with people. I don't know enough people. I'm not a people person. I'm not equipped to go out and find these people from the past and get them to come. I need somebody who can do that. You know, somebody when they get in contact with somebody, that person's like, oh my God, you're going to be there. Oh yeah, I'm going to totally be there. You know, I don't want to call people up or contact people and them to go, and who are you? And you want me to go what and do where? I mean, I've had that happen before, and it just makes me miserable. You know, you want what? Explain that again. What are you talking about? So I need somebody who can deal with that end of it. You know, get a couple of girls from the past, a couple of guys, to take on the job of contacting people from the past and saying, look, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Try to get involved. You know, it's going to be real easy to get people locally who are still in the area to come. Further away, that's going to be harder. We need to set up caravans and carpools, and, you know, people are going to fly from here to there and then carpool from there to there, you know, however it works. We're going to drive down, so we're going to pick up 3 different people along the way, you know. Excellent. You know, you do that, and I'll make sure you got a place to stay. I'll make sure you got a way to deal with whatever you got to deal with. You know, you just need to get that information to me ahead of time. You know, let's make it happen. Let's do it. Sure, I sit here and drink coffee and smoke pot and talk shit all day long. But at the end of the day, this is not about me. This reunion thing is not about me. I mean, I'm the guy that gets to do all of the planning, right? I'm the guy that gets to do all of the fun stuff that I enjoy doing, right? The OCD crap. You know, I need others like-minded who can jump in and say, yeah, I want to do that. You know, and then they just go at it with full fucking gusto. You know, and it doesn't, if we work at it now, a year away, over a year away, it's not going to take a lot out of us, time-wise, energy-wise, financially. It's not going to take anything out of us, because we just have to do it in little bursts. All right, today I'm going to be on the phone for an hour, and I'm going to talk to a couple of people. Next week, right? Yeah. So that's where that's at. I can't, I just can't. I just can't wait. My thing is trying to get all of the information into one place, the whole thing planned out, you know, minute by minute, day by day, page by page, everything that's going to happen, everything that we need to make that happen, the full budget of things. I'm still waiting to hear from entertainment. All right. I'm gonna have to go after the entertainment again, and I will keep doing that until I get a positive response from the entertainment that I want. Right. I've gotten one positive response. Rock and roll night, right? That should pretty much be how we got a year to handle rock and roll night. It's already set. The guy in charge of rock and roll night needs to create a rock and roll band and create kind of a 4-hour entertainment, right? Basically, get up there for a half an hour and then hang out for 10 or 15 minutes and then a half an hour and then 10 or 15 minutes and then a half an hour. And try to put it together so that for most of the evening, when somebody isn't up on stage going, all right, that was cool, man. Let's get somebody up here. I want to talk to you. Come up here. All right, here's your T-shirt, and here's your hat. I want you to sit over here and take this picture with me. Right on, man. All right, next up we're going to do our whole, slideshows and videos and presentations and all of that stuff in between the music. So it all has to be scripted, but I want live music every night. Rock and roll the first night, new wave and that kind of pop music on Saturday night, and then Sunday night do like a folk music type, kind of all of the above, but only folkish, with just guitars and mandolins and that kind of stuff. So I've got everything in mind. I've got everything figured out in my head. Now it's just a matter of getting it all down onto paper, into a notebook, and then across the board to everyone, so that a half a dozen other people out there know exactly what's happening. The entertainment knows that I'm in charge, and then I have a couple of other people who are also peripherally in charge. And if you don't hear from me, you'll hear from one of them. Because if you don't hear from me, something's happened to me, and I ain't going to be there, but you're going to hear from one of them. Because it's going to happen regardless of whatever happens in this world. If it becomes the first, last, and only reunion, so be it. If it becomes a first annual, so be it. But it's going to happen, come hell or high water. It's been too long in the coming. Way too long. It needs to happen ASAP, and that's 1 year from now. So it looks like there's a bologna sandwich in my future. I hate bologna. I really do. I hate bologna. Oscar Mayer, turkey bologna, any kind of fucking bologna. I hate it. It's miserable fucking food. Don't look at my belly. Stop looking at my belly. So every once in a while, I get a pack of bologna. What the hell is he talking about, bologna? No, really. When I was a kid, preteen, we were homeless, and we were living in our van and or tent trailer and or tent down on the beach in Cardiff by the Sea, California, below Carlsbad, just above Leucadia. So it's summertime. My father is attending summer classes at UCSD. My mother is living and working in Hollywood in an apartment with her friend Diana and her son. And my sister is living there. And occasionally my sister will come down and stay with us on the beach, but mostly she lives in Hollywood with my mother. So me and my brother and my father, the guys, are living in this van. We had a tent trailer that my grandfather had given us, and we blew the axles out on it. So that summer, the tent trailer was being repaired, and then we couldn't afford to pay for it, so it sat for the summer until we were able to pay it off and bring it back and start living in it again, right? So for a good portion of the summer, 1978, yeah, it was 1978, right after we got this big van. We got this big van, and it was 78 or 79. I think 78 we might have been living in Parker, but 79, 77 or 70, but 77, 78, 79, that time we were living in Fallbrook, Parker, Arizona. Later on, 79, we lived in Temecula. So there was a good portion of that 2-year period during a summer, I believe it was 1978 summer, where we were living in a van down by the river that emptied out into the beach there at Cardiff. So my father was going to school. He would go to school during the week every day. Mainly he would go to the campus, find a way to get drugs during his school day, right? Take those drugs, portion them out, sell them to earn more money than he would have to spend paying back for the initial amount of drugs, right? And then he would make a little bit of money on the side, as well as being able to pay back or buy some more for the following day to then sell. And that was his thing. He would go to school, he would go to his classes, he'd hook up with people, he'd try to make a few bucks doing some deals, right? And that's how he did that. And then he got a little financial aid. So he'd be gone every day, all day long, during the week. And he would come home in the evenings, and he would bring back a loaf of bread and a big pack of bologna, right? And that was it. If we were lucky, we had some mustard or a little thing of mayonnaise that hadn't gone bad, because we didn't have a refrigerator, we didn't have ice or a cooler. So this bread and this meat had to last dinner, and then the next day it had to last as breakfast and lunch, right? And we had water, because there was a water faucet outside. So we had bologna sandwiches and tap water. And then on occasion we would have something more, some chips or some lemonade or juice or Kool-Aid or something to go along with it. But mainly it was just bologna sandwiches for an entire summer. Worst summer of my life. The most fun, because we were living on the beach. Every day we wake up and we were there on the beach. You know, it was like Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, right? So I just tried to live in a fantasy world and tried to, you know, imagine this to be something different as often as and as much as possible. Bologna sandwiches brought that down to earth. So, long story short, every once in a while I feel like I need to eat a bologna sandwich just to remind myself. And usually when I get really depressed, I get really just down on everything in myself, and I have a bologna sandwich to remind me that things could always be 100 times worse, you know. And if you let it get there, it will. So don't let things fester, you know. And I have that bologna sandwich, and I'll get a little pack of bologna, the best I can find, Oscar Mayer beef bologna, you know, the best I can get. And then I will literally have 1, maybe 2 sandwiches over the course of a week out of that pack. By the second sandwich, I'm like, yeah, I never want to taste bologna again, and I get it, I understand, you know, that things are good. And then I'll split the rest of the bologna with the dogs. So it's about, I picked up a pack of bologna the other day, because I've been in this depressive funk for the last week. You know, don't reach out to your family and say, hey man, unless you expect them to say fuck you and never talk to you again, right? Or at least to take a long enough a break just to make you think, wow man, maybe next time I'll just shut the fuck up, you know. Why should I worry about me when, you know, when they want me to worry about them instead? I mean, I don't fucking know. So yeah, don't you know, don't do that if you can't handle what's coming. And you know, what I expected, what I hoped, was that I would say what I had to say to my family, you know, and that they would take the opportunity, you know. It's like, wow, you know, you're right. We do need to get to know each other better. We have been away for far too long. We can't just say, love you, man, and actually mean it when there's really nothing there anymore. I mean, let's put something back, you know. So much time and distance, you know, between when we were kids, you know, and that's pretty much the only thing we have. We have a shared past, and that's it. We have nothing in the last 10, 20 years but a few things, you know, literally a few things that don't really have anything to do with us personally, you know. I don't get the opportunity to talk to any of my family one-on-one and find out about them, you know. Usually if I start talking to them, asking questions, and then talking about myself, they just kind of glaze over, you know, and they don't want to be there. And so it's like, I just, fuck it, you know. Or they, you know, their eyes glaze over with that, oh, here he goes, his thing. He's doing his thing, you know, or whatever that thing is, you know, that people want to point at me and go, yeah, it's him, you know. You know, I want to move past that, and nobody wants to move past that. You know, everybody's so stuck in how they, you know, the stereotypes that they've created about people. They don't want to move forward, you know, and I'm, you know, I just want to be me, and I want to be recognized as me, not as some caption that people have, you know, some image people have of me. Come on, you know, I do you the benefit of the doubt by seeing you for what you are now, you know, for who you are, you know, do me the same courtesy, you know, get to know me, you know, on my level, not your level, on my level. You know, if we're talking about me, get to know me on my level. I'll get to know you on your level, you know. I'll send you message after message after message after message so that we have the opportunity to talk, you know. And then if you happen to respond to one of those thousands of messages, you know, and then what? You're going to take 15 minutes out of your day, you know, after you've already had a six-pack, you know, when you don't really want to spend the time, and, you know, and sit there and goof on me and go nowhere, you know. That's not getting to know you, you know. That's getting to know the obnoxious end of you, or, you know, look at my ass, you know. I mean, let's get to know each other, you know. We've got a lot of shared memories, you know. Let's make some new ones. Let's at least fill in the gap, you know. Nobody wants to go there, you know. Nobody wants to live in the now. Nobody wants to look back, you know. Nobody wants to I don't know. I just don't fucking know anymore. I try to invest in new friends, right? But because of relationships with old friends, I tend not to push myself on people, right? So I'll go a month or two without contacting one of my friends locally. You know, hey, what's been going on? Hey, man, I haven't heard you from you. You know, and it's not that I'm trying to avoid them. I'm trying to avoid them getting burned out on me, because that's what I see in all of my friends and family, is that they're just sick of me and they don't want to have anything to do with me. You know, so therefore, well, I guess I'll use that example and try not to burn out these people, I guess. You know, every once in a while somebody will call me, contact me, one of my local friends, you know, and say, hey, what's going on, man? Let's do something. And that's cool, you know, and I'm ready. It's a drop of a hat, you know. And every once in a while I will say, you know, contact someone and say, hey, it's been a while, what's going on? You want to do something? But I can't do that all the time. I feel like I'm either going to get shut down because of experiences with, you know, family, or they don't get time for a guy like me, you know. Whatever. I can deal with it. I gotta wake up my wife in 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So, send her off on her way this morning. And then I'll probably finish here and just crawl back into bed. You know, I'm not gonna fight it anymore, you know. I feel like shit, I'm miserable. I'm getting over the flu, but I can't get the funk out of my fucking head now. So I'll probably crawl back into bed, try to get a couple of more hours sleep, refresh myself, get up, have some lunch, and do something. Create something here to work while I'm down here on the floor doing creating my piece here. And then I'll try to reach out to a few people, but it seems like the more I reach out to people when I'm depressed, the more I get shot down, you know. Like, I have been in such fucking personal torment before and have sent like message after message after message after message after message after message after message to my brother. You know, not being specific, just hoping that he's going to get back in touch with me so then I can be more. So I'm not going to, you know, get 3 paragraphs about how miserable I feel. That's not going to get him to want to come talk to me. That's going to make him want to run, right? I would, I guess. So I just, you know, hey, 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 and just keep sending, you know, peace signs, the video chat sign, you know, it's video chat. And I get nothing. After 12 messages, a week goes by and I get nothing. And I just feel like, you know, what's the point? If you haven't got time to send an emoji back or just, yeah, I'm busy. You know, anything, one fucking word. You know, if you haven't got time for that after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of me sending you messages, how do you think I'm going to feel about that? Honestly, how? How would you feel, right? So when you call me up, you know, yeah, I got a message from your sister that says that you don't want to, you know, it's like, well, what the fuck is her trip, you know? And then what the fuck is your trip? You know, all of a sudden you guys want to know about what's going on with me. You never wanted to know before, you know, but it might make you feel a certain way not knowing. So now you want to know? It's like all of these times that I try to get in contact with you, I try. That means nothing. But now that you want to know what's going on, now all of a sudden I got to perform. You know, how does that make me feel? You know, how do you think it makes me fucking feel? Like a piece of shit, you know? You never return my fucking messages. You never return my call. Well, what do you think? You know, yeah, I'm going to feel like shit. Yeah, when you call and ask me how things going after months of me trying to contact you, and then all of a sudden, because you want to know, because you want to have contact, I'm supposed to just be right there? Oh, yeah, gosh, thanks for calling me back. I've been waiting for months for you to, you know, fuck that. You know? How do you think I fucking feel? I feel like a piece of shit. You know, that I'm not worth your time unless it's worth your time. What about my time? What about my feelings? What about my life? You know? I mean, I got a family that I love, and then they don't give a fuck about me, you know? I'm a perfect fucking stranger to them. And they want to act like we're, you know, lovey-dovey, you know? And how does that make me feel? You don't want to invest any time into getting to know me, but you want me to keep you up to date with what's going on in my life. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. You know, if that's as much as you can do, then do that. Okay? But don't come to me personally and want me to fill you in on what's going on in my life when you're ready for it. Okay? I was ready for this shit years ago when I was trying to contact you and get you down here. Why don't you guys come in? Look, things are getting a little dicey for me. I'm not feeling real well. My health is poor. Why don't you guys come down, hang out for a month, help me with a few things, and we can get to know each other. I did that half a dozen times over the last couple of years. All right? And what did I get? Nothing. Not a fucking thing. You know, I would have footed the bill on the whole fucking damn trip at that point in my life because I knew things are going downhill and I want to have quality time, all right? If you want to come see me over the next year, 2 years, it probably ain't going to happen now because I ain't going to feel like having company. I'm getting to the point now to where I don't feel like being personable, you know? I don't want to have this kind of back and forth at the end of my life because I ain't going to be up for it, okay? I want to go out at the end of my life feeling good and peaceful. And I cannot do that trying to deal with people who don't give a shit about me but care about their own emotions and how something happening to me might affect their feelings, right? You don't give a shit about my feelings, otherwise you would have contacted me years ago, you know, and you would have been in constant contact with me over the last couple of years. But you ain't, and you don't, and you won't, so there you go. So how does that make me feel? Like a piece of shit. You know, like when you got time for me, I'll hear from you, right? So there you go. You know, I didn't want you to have my number. You got my number. Don't abuse it. You know, don't call me, I'll call you. You know, if that's the case, because, you know, my phone ain't ringing. Nobody's always knocking on my fucking door. I get no visitors, you know. Sure, a lot of it's my own fault, but I've been reaching out for years to people. Years to try to re-establish something, you know. And now all of a sudden, what's going on? You know. Yeah, 6 in the a.m., 17th of July. I'm in the throes of my depression rant, you know. I mean, all I've wanted most of my life is family. You know, I've wanted a family, blood relations who give a shit, and I don't have that. You know, I've wanted, like, aunts and uncles and grandparents and that kind of stuff and cousins, and I never got that. My brother and sister got that. My father and my mother, everybody else got that, but I didn't get that. You know, and when you take everything and you line everything up and you look at everything in my life and everybody who's been involved in my life, you can see that I don't fit. I'm an oddball. I'm a you know, a square peg in a round hole. It does not work, right? So, I mean, it's completely obvious, you know, to probably everyone but me, you know, most of my life, that that I am an add-on to the family. I am something that was like, I guess we'll keep it. You know, I feel like a doorstep baby. I feel like, you know, I'm a stepchild, you know, or a half-brother, you know. I feel like, you know, I was accepted by one parent out of, you know, like no choice, and the other one just is like, well, you know, it's not the kid's fault, you know. And that's how I grew up, and that's how I felt my entire life, you know. Like I was a second-class member of the family, you know. So therefore, I don't have any contact from parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles or cousins, because I'm not important enough. I'm not part of the family. It's just that guy, you know. It's just that half-brother, you know, Misty's son, you know, which is what I feel like. I feel like her son, not his son, but her son that he had to put up with, you know, and accept as his own, because we would, you know, it's not his fault. We don't want to make him have any trauma, you know, and he ain't all there anyway, you know. I mean, it's a really fucked up thing when you go through your whole life with people filling you full of bullshit and stringing you along and trying to get you to believe all this line of bullshit, you know, and then you come and everybody's gone now, and you're left going, well, what the fuck? I see all these pieces coming at me now that are saying something completely different than what you've been telling me, right? And I can't get a straight fucking story out of anyone, right? Nobody wants to give me a straight fucking answer, you know? And dare I go put somebody on the spot and ask them, look, give me a fucking straight answer. Why? Because they ain't going to want to fucking tell me the truth. It ain't their fucking issue. They don't care. You know, they don't care how I feel in the long run about how everyone else has treated me over the decades, because I am the odd one, you know. So I'm not going to force the fucking issue. I could ask. I've asked my brother, and he goes, oh man, don't worry, we're always brothers, man, don't worry about it. Even if there was something, don't worry about it. I know there's something going on there, and everybody else knows more than I do. Nobody will fucking tell me, because they're worried, you know. Jeez, how do you think I've fucking felt my entire life not knowing, you know, waiting for somebody to tell me what the fuck's going on, you know. So am I going to do a DNA test? Sure. Will I eventually get the cooperation of my siblings to do that? I can't guarantee it, you know. They really don't want to have anything to do with me, you know. Because I'm, you know what, too demanding. I want to be seen as an equal, as an individual, you know, my own person. So therefore I'm too demanding. How dare you want respect? Click. That's it. I asked for respect and to be seen as my own person. And what did I get? Fucking a week's worth of silence so far. You think that somebody would come back and say, you know what, after I thought about it, you know what, you're right, we don't know each other. We've never really known each other. We've never taken the time to sit and get, except instead of doing that, it's like now they're insulted. How dare you insult me, tell me I don't know you. Well, fuck. What? You think you do? If you did know me, you'd know that, well, I ain't fucking happy, you know? And you would know that I'm sick, and you would know that all of these things are going on, but you don't know me. So coming back years later and saying, hey, tell me, you know, I just don't feel it, okay? I just don't feel it. I'd like you to be a part of my life, I really would. But I can't be the only one in this, and it's obvious you're not in it. You know, otherwise you'd be here talking to me at some point, somewhere. Yeah. So how does that make me feel? I try to imagine how you feel and put myself in your place. You know? Show me the same fucking courtesy. I mean, honestly, I literally have people in my life that I've known for a couple of years who know more about me than people I've known for my entire life, right? Or have known me, right? Which is bullshit. You know, we can never really know someone, right? We can fucking try, though. You know, we could try to move past all of the stereotype bullshit that we keep in our heads about, so we can move past those images that stick in our mind, you know. But, you know, if you're not willing to fucking try, then stay in that one spot with that same image, you know, and me saying that same thing over and over again and looking at that same goofy whatever over and over again in your head. And if that's what you want to keep, that's fine, but we can't move forward. We can't move past that. We can't get to know each other, you know. So, I mean, and if we don't have that, well, what's the point of me telling you how I feel, how my health is, you know, what's going on with me? Yeah, I gotta have fucking shit done, procedures and whatnot. Do I want to talk to you about it? No, because you don't give a shit about me. You want to know how it's gonna make you feel. That's it. That's fucking plain and fucking simple. You can, you know, talk all of the bullshit that you want, but when it comes right down to it, you want to know what's going on so that you know how to feel. Is it going to make me feel bad? Do I need to, you know? What about me? Do you not want to be concerned with how I feel, with what's going on with me? What do I need? You know, what do I need to talk about it? You know, you don't come up to me and say, hey man, is everything all right? You know, you want to talk about stuff? You know? No, that's cool, man. You know, but you just know that I'm here, you know. You don't do that. You just, hey man, I heard that something's going on. Talk to me about it. No, sorry. I don't want to fucking just, you know, all of a sudden spill my fucking guts because you're ready now, you know. You ain't had a beer yet and you're ready, you know. You ain't fucking wigged out on fucking something or somebody, so now you're ready to talk about it, you know. Well, I'm not. At this point, you know, most of the shit's going to be taken to my grave. Whatever doesn't happen here, it's just going to be taken to my grave because I'm tired of trying to get people involved and try to talk to people about life, you know. So what's the point? You know, you get tired of talking to people when they're not listening, so you stop talking. You know, I talk here because I know that nobody's listening. I'm listening. I'm getting this out. Eventually my daughter will hear this stuff, so it means something. Do I expect somebody to sit and go through all of these episodes and go, wow, man, I get it, I understand? No. Because, you know, They're not in it for anything but themselves. Everybody's in it for themselves. That's it. You're going to get what you want out of it, and if you ain't get what you want out of it, then you're going to move on. And that's what's happening with me. People ain't getting what they want out of me, so they moved on. You know? All I required throughout my entire life was compassion and understanding. And I couldn't get that from anyone. Not anyone that I knew, anyone in my family. I got it from my wife and my daughter. That's the only people who've given me compassion and understanding. That's it. And I had to teach them that, you know, or my daughter anyway. Compassion and understanding. She's a very compassionate and understanding person. I don't get that anywhere else. You know, understanding, compassion, courtesy, you know, conversation, questions in conversation are courteous. You know, you ask somebody about something and listen and ask questions to try to understand, you know. If you start talking to somebody and their eyes glaze over and they're like, oh, I don't want to fucking listen to this bullshit. Yeah. Well, then you don't want to talk to that person anymore about those things, so you don't. And then later on when they come around and say, well, no, why don't you talk to me about these things? I mean, I've tried to fucking talk to you about these things. And the answers I get, man, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. You're just fine, man. You're younger than me. You're okay. Or if you don't have arthritis, you don't have this, you don't have that. It's like, well, okay, fine, thanks. Gosh, I feel much better now. You know, if that's as far as we're going to, then I'm not going to talk to you about shit. And, you know, sorry, Robert, but that's where we've gone. You know, I tried to. For years, I've tried to. You know, and what did I get? I got, don't worry about it. We're bros, man. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You know, I'm older than you, and I'm fine. Okay. You know, now, all of a sudden, you want to know what's going on. And I've been fucking trying. I've been trying to tell you what's going on. I've been trying to get you down here so that we could talk. And, you know, I can't go there anymore, man. I just can't. You know, I'm reaching the fucking end, and I can't reach out and pull people in, you know. I don't have the fucking strength. You know, I don't have the energy to be the guy, you know. I tried. I really did. You know, if you want to try, then we can do something, you know. But at this point, I can't keep reaching out just to get my hands slapped. I can't keep sending message after message after message after message and not get anything in return. And then later on, a week, 2 weeks later, when you get around to it and you have the time to send me a mail, oh man, I've been so busy, dude. Yeah, I can see the parties. You know, you've been real busy, you know, great, thanks, appreciate it. You know, I've been having all of this shit going on, and I've needed family, a bro. I'm there for you, bro. And then it's like, where are you? Hello? You know? I got a bro here in town. I got a couple of bros here in town. If something's going on with me, at the drop of a hat, I can have them over here to help me. All right, those are bros. All right? When I constantly send message after message after message after message after message and I get nothing for weeks and months, where's the bro in that? All right? And then I finally speak up, speak my mind, ask for some fucking respect and some understanding, and then I get the sound of crickets. How does that make me feel? You know, ask me, and I'll tell you. But you won't ask me because you don't care. If it's not on how you feel, you don't care. And that's the way the world is. You know, not my problem. So how do I feel? Like shit. Makes me feel like shit. You know? This is real, okay? This is honesty here. You know, if you can't handle fucking reality and honesty, move the fuck on. That's all there is to it. if you can't, you know, pick up a phone or send me a fucking message or something, you know, then this is what fucking happens. You know, I just cannot fucking take it anymore. And then I gotta go to third party fucking external places to try to get somebody to fucking listen to me, you know. You know, you try for years to get back into my life where I want you in the first place, right? And then when you're here, right, I honestly say, look, if you want to move forward from here, this is what we got to do, right? This is where we're at, and this is what we got to do. And you try to be honest, right? And what does that get you? Get you kicking the fucking teeth. And it gets you sitting there alone in the dark. You know, because nobody wants fucking honesty. Everybody wants fluffy fucking smoke blowing up their ass. You know, instant gratification, instant satisfaction, you know, duck-faced selfie life. You know, look how perfect my life is. Let me show all these pictures of my perfect party life and all of this and all of that. You know, and nobody wants to get down to the fucking nitty-gritty and talk about what's really fucking going on. Why? Because that's too much work. Oh, it might make me feel different. I don't want to feel, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. It's going to make me feel bad. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just feel good. You know? Well, good for you. Go fucking feel good. You know, go to your fucking parties. Go hang out with your fucking fancy people and all of your good stuff and good times, you know. And when you're ready to talk about family stuff and actually, you know, be family, like you preach, then I'm here, waiting, ready. You know, otherwise I may or may not see you at the reunion. You know, I mean, because that's pretty much where it's at fucking now. You know. Once again, I'm on my own because people don't want to take the time. That's it. People don't want to take the time to get to know me. You know, they want to keep that image of me alive in their fucking head. Well, then don't talk to me. Reinforce that fucking stereotype image that you have of me with silence, right? Because if you talk to me one-on-one, you might find out that there's a real person here. Something completely different than you imagine, right? But don't do that because that's too much work, right? I see everyone else and for who they've evolved into, right? And granted, I haven't changed that much, but I am not the person that you thought you knew, you know? And if you don't want to take the time to get to know me, then what's the point, you know? Don't give me that fucking family bullshit. Don't give me that bro bullshit if you're not going to be there when the shit hits the fucking fan, all right? You know, well, you don't want to talk about it, so I'm never going to talk to him again. Oh, great. You know, no. Why don't you get to know me a little bit so that we can talk about it? I can talk about it with somebody comfortably, you know, not feel like I'm talking to a perfect fucking stranger. Because what? We talk 3 times a year and you get drunk and say, look at my ass. That's supposed to make me feel good. Let's have a sober conversation about what's going on in my life, you know. Let's get together. I've invited you down here a half fucking dozen times. Willing to foot the fucking bill for most of it. But it's not important enough. You got too much other stuff going on. You know. Sure, I can handle that. That's life. That excuse only gets you for so fucking long before it don't matter anymore. You know, how did it make me feel to know that people were driving by find out that people were driving by my house every day for years, going to do family stuff, and nobody ever thought to ask if I wanted to fucking be involved. No, never. You know, hey, doesn't Michael live here somewhere? Why don't we stop by and... No, you don't want to. Did you ask? No, we don't need to ask. You don't want to. Okay. And that's the way they look at me. He don't want it. Well, you don't want it, which is why you say that I don't fucking want it. Did you ask me what I fucking want? No, you never do. You know, do you ask what's going on in my mind when we're having a conversation? No. Do you ask what's going on in my life? No. You glaze over with stupid bullshit and talk nonsense and talk about past bullshit. But when I try to talk about the now, look, this is what's going on, and like I gotta like, nah, you're fine, man. Nothing's going on. Don't worry about it, man. How does that make me feel? You know, I'm right there, you know, when you got this shit going on, you know, and you call me day or night, man. You're at the hospital with your wife. You call me day and night, man, no matter what the fuck's going on. You know, I'm there for you. What's going on? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. And then what? Shit's going on in my life and I get fucking silence. Hey, talk to me. Hey, talk to me. Hey, talk to me. And I just get a fucking, when I got the time. You know, so how does that make me feel? Like a fucking second-class fucking family member, you know? Makes me feel like shit, you know, so that when you hear something through the grapevine, right? Something that you should know because you're a bro, right? You hear something through the grapevine, and then I get a phone call. I heard that this thing's, so you have to tell me what's going on. It's like, no, I don't. You know, you got to try to invest some time in finding out what's going on. Don't just come around, you know, after. You know, I've been sending you fucking message after message, and you get a message from somebody else that prompts you to contact me. Don't give me that shit. Oh, my phone is bullshit. It's you. You don't want to fucking talk to me? Say, I don't want to talk to you. And I'll get the fucking point. I want to talk to you, which is why I said, hey, look, I don't want to talk about this shit to a perfect fucking stranger. Get to know me, and we'll talk. You want to get to know me? Then you can find out about what's going on with me. Otherwise, I'll talk to strangers on fucking YouTube, right? Because I get more sympathy and compassion and understanding out of a perfect fucking stranger and more back and forth than I do from a family member, you know? So how does that make you feel? I know how it makes me feel. Ask me how it makes me feel, and I'll tell you. Don't ask me, and you ain't gonna fucking know shit. You know, I've been screaming how I'm feeling for years, and people just, oh God, he's talking again. He's having feelings. Look the other way. He's having emotion. You know, so fuck you. Fuck all of you. You know, fuck the whole world for that matter. You know, if you can't see me as a fucking individual, as an equal, as not some fucking piss on that I've been looked at my entire life as, we got nothing to talk about. You know, we got nothing to fucking talk about. If you don't want to fucking talk, you know, really, really honestly know and understand what's going on, then don't fucking talk. And that's where it's at, you know. I ain't gonna fucking, he don't want to fucking be, you know, he don't want to just talk small talk, well, I ain't gonna talk to him again. If he don't want to just tell me what's going on when I want to know what's going on, well, then fuck him. And that's where it's at. That's what I'm getting from that's the message I'm getting from my family, is that they don't want to talk because, you know, they don't want to get to know me, you know. They just flat out don't want to get to know me, you know. I'm giving them every opportunity in the last couple of years to get to know me. Even getting in contact again with my sister, you know. Of course, you can't just pop back into somebody's life and expect things to be back to normal, which is where my sister is. You know, and it's like, no, it's not the same. You want to get to know me, that's fine, but don't expect that we're just going to hang out. You know, that's you know, a long time coming. You know, you want to get to know me, that's fine. You know, let's get to know each other. We have a shared past, shared experiences that give us a place to start, right? But that's not the end. You know, we don't know each other. You don't know me, I don't know you. You've proven to me that you're not the kind of person that I would have in my life. So let's start over again, you know, because I don't have people in my life who screw me over. I don't have people in my life who try to abuse our friendship, you know, or people who imagine and create things and then blame me for them. So no, you want to earn your way back into my life, that's fine. Otherwise, there's nothing going on, you know. And that goes for everyone, you know. Anyone in my family who has always looked down on me and is not in contact with me because it suits them. There you go. You know, what do I owe you? Not a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. You know, but I'm still willing to go out of my way to forge some kind of relationship, right? And if you're willing to do that, here I am. And if not, you know, I'll see you at the reunion, and, you know, we might share a drink together. And if that's as far as it goes, fucking A, you know, because that's about what I got with everybody else, you know. Cheers to the past. Oh, I want more. I want family. I want, you know. Am I ever going to get? No, because I've tried. I've tried to go after it. I wanted so badly to get my brother down here for a week, you know, so we could hang out and start forging that relationship that we should have had by now. Had he been able to come down, I would have been able to go up. We would have been able to do a couple of things before we're at this point now to where I just haven't got the energy to try to fight people into understanding who I am, right? I'm just over it, you know. If you're going to go through the rest of your life seeing this stereotype of me, fine. I can't change that. I don't have the energy. I don't have anything to put forth into making you see me as who I am. And if this doesn't do it for you, then I don't know what's going to do it. I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. So I'm going to be turning over a lot of the tasks of invitation and people and stuff to somebody friendlier, somebody who people do like, somebody who people want to come to the reunion and see, because I'm not that guy. I'm not the reason people are gathering. I'm the reason it's happening, but I'm not the reason why people are going to be there. Not even my own family are going to be there to see me. They're going to be there to see all those other people, all those other friends that they've seen countless times more in the last 20 years than they've seen me, right? So, I mean, literally, when you're not invited to family reunions years in a row, but everyone else is there, you know, and why weren't you there? Or, you know, we figured you wouldn't want to be there. Oh, we figured you didn't, you know. Well, there you go. You figured. That's my whole life, is them figuring. You know, my whole life has been figured out by someone else. I just have to stand there, right? Because everybody else is going to figure it all out. You know, they're going to have it all understood. No matter what I do and say, it's all completely different by the time it gets to their fucking heads. And that's the way it is my entire life. You know, and that's the way it is now. You know, me wanting to be seen as my own person is probably going to destroy chances of a reunion, right? Because people aren't going to want to be involved with that guy who, you know, that guy who hates everybody, right? Like, if that's what you read out of this, you know, then you're definitely off your fucking rocker, you know. Because what I read out of this is that I love and respect everyone from my past, and I just want the same, and I'm not getting it. You know, I definitely ain't feeling it, and I'm not seeing any kind of, you know, understanding, compassion, courtesy, respect. I'm not seeing any of that, you know, from anyone in my family, and from a lot of people from my past, you know. And that's not on them, that's on me. You know, if I didn't earn your respect, your courtesy or whatever, that's fine. You know, then I don't deserve it. You know, but when it comes to family, there should be no earning it, right? They didn't earn my respect. They didn't earn my courtesy. They don't earn my understanding and my drive to know who they are. They didn't have to earn that, right? Well, they do now, but they didn't in the past. And now it's like, you know what? I get it. You know, I ain't anybody's cup of tea. You know, I am the odd man out. I am the black sheep of the black sheep of the black sheep. You know, I have no, you know, no connection to anyone anymore. I get it. And nobody wants it, you know. Very few people. It's those people who are so removed from my now that I'm new, I guess. And those are the people who I'm okay with, or that are okay with me, I guess. But I'm a novelty to some of the people from my past. So that makes me interesting. Not necessarily someone they want to get to know, right? But hey, I knew that guy. Look, he does that weird thing. Gosh, he's weird. And that's about as far as they want to take it. And, you know, that's cool. I will be putting together some kind of video for the reunion. It's going to require taking a lot of photographs of yearbook pages in order to, you know, to get the whole video thing to come to life, right? So I'll be working on that and trying to get that rolling, trying to work on more opening and closing sequences for my shows, to try to, you know, add in the stuff so that I don't have to do as much pause, push a button, wait, play, stop, clean, push a button, bring it up, do this. And then mainly I could just come on in the morning, hit a button, things will play until it's time to go on, and then I go live on here. And I don't have to push a whole bunch of buttons in the morning. Come in, start my live feed, push start at a specific time, and let it play up until show time, and then it ends and I'm live. So I'm going to try to do something like that and get that lined up. And really, really try to get others involved in this reunion thing. While I will bring it to life and plan it and make it happen, during these bouts of manic depressive anxiety, I don't feel like I'm even going to make it there, and I don't feel like I even care if I do, right? And that sucks, you know, to want something so bad that it hurts, and then to feel like, oh, fuck it, I don't care if it ever happens, you know. That's depression. That's the way that goes. And I go back and forth every day. I am from one end of the spectrum to the other. It's like I'm feeling totally down, and I don't even want to lift my head off my pillow. And then within an hour, I'm on top of the world, and I can't wait for things to happen. And then I'm right back in that other position again, just saying, fuck it, you know. And it's usually my health that will derive that emotion, right? My health and my personal life. Nothing here in the household, right? I'm talking blood, personal. And that'll usually dictate how I feel, flipping back and forth on that spectrum, feeling horrible to feeling just on top of the world, and back and forth, you know. And I'll have some kind of interaction or thinking about family stuff, and it'll just drag me down. My health will all of a sudden, I'm feeling a little disconnected from my pain, and then all of a sudden I'm completely connected to every part of my body, and I feel everything, and it ain't good, and that brings me down. And then I have to fight to get back up. and then I just get smacked back down again. And it's been really, really hard lately to give a shit about those things that I really am passionate about. The reunion, my shows, the channel, all this stuff. I reach, you know, the heights of ecstasy and the lowest lows of depression, all in a matter of minutes or hours, you know. And it's completely out of my control, you know. All I can do is supply external stimuli to help bring me out and back up. And then if that fades away and something happens, boom, I'm right back down again, you know. And it doesn't take much, you know. Not getting a message every day from my brother will do it to me, you know. After I send a message, send a message, send a message, send a message, after days and a week, and then goes by, and it's like, look, you know, if I can't be honest with you about something and not have that, you know, completely destroy our whatever relationship we have, well then, you know, don't say bros to me ever again, right? Because it ain't there, you know. If I'm sending you a message, then I want some back and forth, right? And if you don't want to accommodate, then that's on you, you know. And that's a bummer, man. That is a big fucking bummer, you know, especially when we do and I get that bro thing, you know. That word means less and less and less, you know. It means more and more, don't worry about it, bro. That's what it means. Don't worry about it. And I'm getting to the point now to where I'm just not going to worry about it anymore. You know, I'll stop sending messages. You can follow the reunion stuff on Facebook. If you want to know how I'm doing, tune in once in a while, be a fly on the fucking wall, and see what's happening in my life. If you don't want to take the time and the energy to sit down and actually have a conversation and get to know me like I want to get to know you, that's where we're at. You know, and that's a fucking bummer. You know, and the biggest fucking bummer about all of this that's happened in the last week, you know, the biggest bummer about all of this is, you know, the fact that I've had to say, hey, look, you know, I'm not comfortable talking to you about this. You know, if you really want to get, you know, I'm more comfortable talking to people, strangers, than I am, because they give a shit and they want to know, you know. That's the biggest bummer, is that I had to say that. You know, that, hey, you don't give me the respect that I deserve, you know. You contact me during your extreme hardship situations, and I'm right there, as understanding as possible, trying not to do any kind of judging or anything. I'm just there for you, like a bro, you know. And then it's like I speak up, speak my mind, and say, hey, bro. And I get, fuck you. How dare you, right? How dare I what? Speak my mind, speak up for myself, want to be seen as an individual, want to be taken seriously. That's what I get. The shine. You know? So how am I supposed to feel about it? How am I supposed to take that? And then afterwards, I give you a little time to cool off and then start sending you messages and I get nothing. You know? Don't give me that, oh, it's my phone. It's my phone, bro. It's doing that thing. Yeah, right. That's old. I got garbage phone. And I still will send a reply. ASA fucking P. Because it's the courteous thing to do. You know, you don't always hear what you want to fucking hear when you have a conversation with people. But you know what? If you're bros, you listen. And you hang out. And you have those conversations. And you learn. And if you ain't bros, then you give somebody the fucking shine. You know, we're bros, don't worry about it, I'll call you, I'm definitely gonna call you. The sound of fucking crickets. My heart can only be broken so many fucking times. And when it's broken by people who say they love you, and they're constantly fucking taking your heart and snapping it into fucking pieces because it suits them and their life and you know, their schedule. Once again, how's that supposed to make you feel? You know, no, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. No, I'm not an easy guy to get along with. But if you tell me you're family and you're there, then fucking be family and be there. You know? If, you know, and family means honesty doesn't get you exiled. You know? And unfortunately, I'm from a family where honesty does get you exiled. And, you know, silence is golden. Don't talk about shit. Just let shit hide and fester. We don't want to talk about that. We might have to have an emotion about something. You know, oh, sorry, I'm the guy with emotions, right? So when I'm gone, you can have your fucking emotions and have your party, and you can all sit around and talk about, you know, how well you knew me. And you can fill each other full of bullshit, because it will all be bullshit, you know. I just want to be known and taken seriously and try to leave something other than that fucking stereotype image that you've got. You know, when I'm gone, I don't want to be thought of as that, you know, that glaze in your eyes when you talk to me and think about me. You know, I don't want that. I don't want that image to be left when I'm fucking gone, which is why I'm here trying to change it, which is why I'm trying to do a back and forth with family and friends to try to change that, you know. Because, you know, as a human, don't we all deserve at least that much to be known and accepted, and for people to fucking be nice about it? You know, I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm at the end of my fucking chain here. You try and you try and you try. You know, after decades of exile, you know, a lot of it's self-imposed, because you just feel like, you know what, these people don't get me. They don't want to get me. They don't understand. They don't want to understand. For some reason, I don't matter as much, right? So it took me a little while to get there, to figure that out, but I get it. You know, I don't matter as much. I'm not an equal, you know. Pardon me. And now I get it. I'm going to wake up the wife, and then we'll continue this rant. Well, it's easy to walk away from the camera and the microphone when there's nobody here. Yeah. I'm here. I'm still here. For now. I will be here until I am not. And then I will be gone. Hopefully I can get all this stuff downloaded into my hard drives and stuff. and get all of this stuff curated and cataloged and lined up in a bunch of files somewhere, so that my daughter has it all at some point for whatever reasons. A lot of people have family albums and home movies and stuff. This is going to be kind of weird. I'm going to have whole hard drives filled with me just rambling with old movies and educational films and old radio shows and stuff. It's all going to get uploaded onto a hard drive, and then I can thumb drive it and take stuff and put it onto thumb drives or DVDs, or share the files with people. It'll be neat. What I'd like to do, right, is create video stuff, files and things to send to people, right, or that are going to premiere, right, long after I'm gone. So all of a sudden, boom, a video pops up somewhere of me, and I haven't been around in years, right? And then all of a sudden you get a video from me, that'd be cool. So I want to do shit like that, make some weird stuff that people aren't going to see until after I'm gone. And maybe it'll be some weird rant and rave shit like this, Well, I've been gone for 5 years now. Are you still alive? Did you fuck the planet up? How many of you bastards have fucking starved to death? I told you, I warned you. It'll be shit like that, or shit like, hey, I really tried to get to know you when I had the chance. Oops. I guess we ran out of time, huh? Yep. Running out of time. The running man, that's what I am. Running out of time. So yeah, I will be exiting from this morning show live for a brief amount of time, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, right? That's not much. It's a lot. For me it's a lot. That's a YouTube minute right there. Yeah. Will I be creating stuff to put in while I'm gone? Yeah. I'll probably have more opportunity to create things, original content. I really want to upload a lot of more of my father's, I use that term loosely, my father's old radio shows, right, and the old videos that he created for college and university, right, that kind of stuff. So I want to upload some more of that stuff, because the videos I'm heavily involved in, and I want to get those out there. So I'll probably take the time to do that during my time off. And then, barring any kind of setbacks, it should only be a few weeks, 6 weeks, before I'm back doing semi-live stuff. The evening show, I am going to continue to do. I think what I will do is I will create an opening and a closing that I will announce, and then I will create graphics to put up to explain who's playing and what song it is, right? So I'll do that. And I think that's gonna suit me for a while until I can come back and start doing the announcing and doing the morning live stuff. But nothing, no timeline yet. I haven't heard anything about insurance or schedules or appointments or anything yet. So I imagine when it happens, it'll happen relatively quick. I'll get a message, I'll go in, have an appointment, we'll set things up, we'll make a day, and then that's it. I'll have shows right up until about the day or the day before, and then I'll deal with my shit, and then I'll just be off. I'll just be off for a while. I'll try to set my programming up ahead of time so that I won't have to do too much. And then I'm just going to kind of be off, you know. Just take a few days, a couple of weeks to do absolutely nothing, because I won't have the energy, because I won't be eating correctly. And then once I get back in the swing of things, you know, feel like talking again, then I'll be back. But I don't know when that's going to happen. It'll probably happen when I don't want it to, when I've got so much going on, or I've got to go out into public a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. And then I'll have to set it up so that it fits with my schedule. You know, my schedule of going out and doing things with my daughter, mainly. I can deal with the round town stuff, going to the store, going to the work and whatnot in that condition, but I don't want to leave town and do all of that kind of shit feeling different, not being used to being, you know, a different guy. So there's that. Maybe before the upcoming concerts in August, so that by the time the concerts get here, I'm a little adapted. But it's going to take, you know, 6 weeks to 6 months to feel comfortable in my new, you know, in my new self. And I just don't want it to be the beginning of a trend, you know, which at my age it probably is. With my health conditions, it probably is the beginning of a trend of, oh, now you got to go in and do this, and then you got to go in, and then, oh, they found this, and you got to do that. And it's like, I don't want to go there. You know, it's like, let me deal with this, and then just, you know, slip quietly into the night, you know, because I don't want to deal with the other bullshit. You know, I don't want to be a fucking guinea pig, pincushion. I don't want to get fucking eviscerated on a fucking table, you know. Vivisected, parts yanked out of me. Fuck that. You know, and then just have to fucking, you know, and then you go away painfully. It's like, yeah, the pain's already going to be there. Check it out. You know, why would I want to try to extend it for a brief amount of time, putting yourself through horrible amounts of pain to get there? You know, so what, the last part of your life is just horrible? You know, that kind of horrible? No, you know, you got people who want to end their lives with a quality of life that's better, and they're not concerned about quantity. They're concerned about quality of life, right? And that's kind of where I'm at, you know. I want the quality of life more than the quantity, because the quantity is only takes you so far before you don't get no more, you know. So what are you going to do? Quality of life, not how much time you got left, but how good it is while you're here. And therefore, you know, being butchered and radiated and prescribed into oblivion is not something that I'm looking forward to. You know, that's the way the insurance companies want you to go out. You know, that's not the way that humanity should go out. That's the way the insurance companies want you to go out, is doing as much as possible to feed that system, you know, and inevitably doing nothing for you, right, except giving you a little bit more time, because we only get so much time anyway, right? So therefore trying to extend it is kind of ridiculous, right? Yeah, but you gotta have every minute, every second with your loved one. It's like, okay, all right, you know, pull up your diapers and go fucking grow up, you know. Yeah, it fucking sucks. But what are you gonna do? You know, snivel about it, pound your hands and stomp your feet and go, no. You know, fight the inevitable. I'm not gonna just give in, but I'm not gonna, you know, have a pointless argument. You know, what's that? Using all that energy, just expelling all that energy on a pointless fight. You know, yeah, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat it, I'm gonna do this, and then what? Yeah, he lived an extra year, you know, but the pain was unbearable, you know. I'm just hoping it's a heart attack or I die in my sleep or something, you know, rather than have to succumb to horrible disease that just eats you away, you know. Nah. Oh yeah, then there are a few people who actually make it, you know, and fight it and win. And actually get a longer than they would normally have gotten because of it. You know, yeah, there's a few out there. You know, do I expect to be one of those? Oh, no. It'd be nice, but I ain't expecting it. I don't expect shit. You know, except to be misunderstood. That's easy to expect. Because that's the tradition, you know. That is the long-standing tradition, is to be misunderstood. Hi, bud. Get up. Yep. You don't want to get up? You don't want to get in bed? No? Well, you'll have to wait. I don't want to open and close doors right now. You want to come in here and lay down? You can go over here and lay down. Come on, come to bed. Come on. Go ahead. Come on, Sam. You want to get in bed? He's a cuddle monkey. The little cuddle monkey. Abso-friggin-lutely. Yes, sir, yes. I actually watched some In Search of last night. I've been uploading a lot, and I haven't been keeping up watching the episodes. So last night I put on an episode of In Search of, and it was kind of kooky. It was the Easter Island Massacre one, and it was heavy. I mean, you would think about a massacre as being people, and it was. There were a lot of people massacred. There were like upwards of 10,000 people living on the island at one time, and then it went down to a couple of hundred people because I guess they were eating each other. Things got so bad there, and it's just, the Easter Island is like a microcosm of what's happening in the world and what's going to happen in the world right now, you know, because they used up all of their natural resources. They didn't have one tree left on the fucking island. They didn't have any food. They didn't have any water. They didn't have anything. And now all of a sudden, you got thousands of people and no way to take care of them. So they freaked out. They freaking ate each other. They, you know, buried each other in death and destruction, and then of course the other part of the massacre was the massacre of these statues, these idols, right? And they killed off a lot of them because they thought that they had offended the gods, right? And then they split into two different factions. What I thought was really, really weird was they split into two different factions of what they called the long ears and the short ears, right? And I'm thinking, wow, man, they were like Vulcans and humans, right? Because of course Leonard Nimoy doing the In Search of, so of course I immediately thought of Vulcans. But it's the ears, man. It's we all have different ears. Some ears are longer than others. They have lobes and they hang down. A lot of ears just come straight down and connect to the cheek, and there's a lot less of a bulge up here, right? So there is a thing called short ear and long ear, right? Which is how they referred to it. And so they killed off all of the long ears on the island, right? Because they were the ones who had offended the gods. And then they found a new god, the sky god, the eagle or something, and made a ritual out of that where they had to swim out to this little island and retrieve an egg and bring it back in their mouth. And then they were the next king of the island for a year. I mean, they just went through some weird shit. But it's a total microcosm of what's happening and what's going to happen, you know. Politics, religion, natural resources, everything just going fucking wonky, right? And it's happening. It's, you look at what happened there, and you look at what's happening now, and you can see it all playing out, right? Pretty soon, We're going to have a lot of fallen idols who we thought were going to take care of us, and they just did not. They fell short. Our government's going to fuck us over. The religions are going to worry about themselves, and we're going to find out there's a lot of conning going on in there. There's a lot of good, but there's a lot of way more conning and bullshit than there is, goodness in it. So we're going to, find out the realities of all of that. We're going to find out that capitalism and consumerism and all of that isn't all it's cracked up to be. And we're going to find out that a long time ago we should have put a cap on the population and should have worried about the pollution and all of these things. And we keep getting warned. People keep coming up and saying, hey, look, we got to worry about this. And then we just unzip and piss all over them and say, yeah, fuck you, and make cute memes about them and destroy them on the internet, right? And then we're getting to the point to where, man, we should have listened. I've been screaming it for decades, man, and nobody ever listened. And now, all of a sudden people are going, hey, wow, man, did you hear that guy? He's what's going on, man? Now all of a sudden you want to listen? Give me a fucking break. It's like talking to my family all over again. I tried to tell you, I tried to talk to you, tried to warn you about it, tried to make you understand for decades, been shouting about it on Facebook for years. Nobody gets it, and it's going to be too late before anyone gets it. Period. Because everybody's self-absorbed, self-involved, that whole duck lip selfie lifestyle where you just want to look good and feel good, and damn the consequences. Look the other way, And it's all those other countries that may actually survive who are actually worrying about things and planning for things, looking to the future realistically and making some adjustments, Too little, too late, but hey, somebody's trying, and those somebodies actually might survive, rather than drag a bunch of shit and people and go down underground and live in bunkers until everybody kills themselves off, right? And then come up and live in a dome, right? Until, the earth readjusts and we actually get a climate again. Good luck. Good fucking luck. Let me know how that goes for you. Because I ain't buying it. We had one chance, and we screwed it up. Back in the 40s and 50s, we knew what the Industrial Revolution was doing to this planet. We saw it. We found out about pollution and the automobiles and all of that. We saw it happening. They would take filters and stick filters, just a filter, just set it out on a building up high on a skyscraper and let the wind pass through it and then pull it down and see what was in it, right? And we realized then, back in the 50s, that, hey, we're putting a lot of fucking shit into the air, and that shit's going into us, and into the atmosphere, and into the earth. We should do something about this. And by the 70s, we came up with Earth Day, and plans, and resolutions, and directions, and everybody just unzipped, man, and pulled it out, and just hosed it all fucking down, man. And it's been happening since then. We've been getting hosed ever since, man. Why? Because it's cheaper to... It's easier to sell the shit back to us and get us to not worry about it, And rather than create shit that lasts forever that you don't have to buy every fucking year and a half, they do exactly that. Let's fill the landfills with garbage so that we can get people to buy new shit every fucking year. Hey, Black Friday, remember you need a new TV. Why do you need a new TV? Because the TVs nowadays are garbage. So of course you need a new TV every year or two. Of course you need a new car every 3 to 5 years because they're garbage. Had you bought a car 50 years ago, you'd still be driving that same fucking car today. But no, you bought a car 10 years ago, so now you're driving crap by now that's fallen apart with plastic everything, and it's just going to wind up in the landfill. Unless there's a few parts that can be saved to help bring some other old car along, It's just fucking ridiculous, And we love it. We gobble it up. We gobble up all this garbage, like we're supposed to, because we're programmed to. We got no fucking choice, And we have no choice because we've given them the power to sell us garbage, right? We keep buying garbage, so they're going to keep making garbage, you know? And it's garbage because that's what it winds up as, you know? I'm surrounded in a room of stuff that's never going to be garbage because it's never going to go bad because it was built back when people gave a shit about building shit, you know? You got everything in your house, look around your house, everything in your house right now that you've bought within the last 5 years, that is all going into the landfill within the next couple of years. Period. End of fucking discussion. Ain't no fucking going around about it, all right? You buy garbage, it becomes garbage. You buy good, solid state, American-made products from 50 years ago, and they're still doing what they're supposed to fucking do. I can put on a reel, and that reel-to-reel behind me back here, I can put on a reel right now, hook it up to my stereo, hit fucking play, and listen to something from 60 years ago. Like that. Why? Because it still works. They don't want you to have that kind of shit. Why? Because they can't sell you shit. You won't buy shit if you still got something that's worth something, right? So they want you to yard sale that stuff, landfill that stuff, get rid of it, throw it in a fucking cruncher and destroy it. Because if it's gone, you have to buy their bullshit. That's why I drive an old car. That's why I use an old stereo. That's why I rely on vinyl records and actual books. Because they're still there and they're still telling the same truths. They're not rewritten. They're not digitized and reformatted and sent back at you, you know, incorrectly. Yeah, it frustrates me to see the world out there just gobbling this shit up, leading us to a fucking doom. We're doomed, you know? And everybody's driving the fucking car in that direction, you know? They don't give a fuck. All they care about is feeling good, you know, and how they look, and that's it. And fuck everything else, and damn the consequences, and damn everyone else if they want to fight you over it. You know, what do you mean I can't? What do you mean I can't lean up against your Maserati and take a duck-lipped photo so that others will think it's my car? What do you mean you won't let me do that? Fuck you. Let's fight about it. Fuck, I'm gonna hit your car now. Fuck you. Why? Because that's the way it is. You know, everybody's either a fucking spoiled, rotten fucking Karen or so entitled that they can't see the world not bowing to every fucking one of their needs, right? It pisses me off. You go out into the world and you're nice and you're polite, and then somebody is rude to you and cuts you off and does this bullshit to offend you, and then you say, hey, excuse me, but, and they're like, fuck you. What? I can't do a fuck you. And they want to fight you over them being an asshole to begin with, right? And all of a sudden you're just trying to get along out in the world, and somebody wants to fight you because you won't allow them to piss on you, right? Now, I don't get it. But that's the way it is every day when you go out there now. Whether you're driving in traffic, or you're walking through the grocery store, or you're sitting in the fucking doctor's office, it doesn't matter. Somebody's ready to piss on you and then fight you over it because you won't just pick up a towel and wipe yourself off and go along with your day, you know? It's fucking ridiculous. So, you know, how difficult is it for me to go out into the world? Well, about as difficult it is for me to have a simple back and forth conversation with one of my family members, right? Very, very difficult. Why? Because nobody gives a fuck. They're in it for themselves. Fuck everybody else. If you're going to make me feel something other than the way I want to feel right now in this moment, well, then fuck you. You ain't worth my fucking time. And that's the world. That's the world, you know. So you look at your families, and that's like, once again, that word, a microcosm of the fucking world in general. People not giving a shit, giving more, you know, care and concern over a duck-lip fucking photo than they do about actual families, bros. You know, don't fucking say bro to me if you don't fucking mean it. You know, don't give me that bro shit. You know, if you ain't gonna be there when the shit hits the fucking fan, don't fucking give me that bro shit. Don't come sniffing around later saying, hey, man, what's going on? You had your opportunity for years when I kept saying, hey, this is what's going on. No, don't worry about it, man. Hey, this is what's going on. No, you're just full of shit. Hey, this is what's going on. Oh, man, don't worry about it, man. Well, hey, I've been trying to fucking tell you, and what do I get? I get fucking shined on. So how does that make me feel? You know, tune in tomorrow to find out, because I'm not going to fucking go there anymore. You know, you want to know? Fucking tune in and find it out, you know, or actually have some back and fucking forth, you know. The whole problem with the world, they're in it to win it for themselves, you know. They don't want to have any back and forth anymore. If it doesn't make them feel good right fucking now, fuck it. You know, instant gratification. You know, just fucking sheer selfishness. You know. You give, you give, you give. And then pretty soon people are just expecting it and then just taking and taking and taking. And then you stop giving because you want some give back, right? And then they just unzip it, pull it out, and hose you down. You're not worth it, you know? How many times has that happened in my life? Where it's like I try to give some fucking payback or try to, you know, go one up on somebody and say, hey, you know, and then it's just zip. You know, well, I've taken what I've needed from you, and you ain't got anything else I need, so, you know, and even if it's just, you know, being a bro or whatever, and then all of a sudden, well, this ain't bro-like, so I'm out. I'm done. Well, that's, you know, that's your true colors shining through. And there you go. And then I'm left holding the bag, wondering what the fuck's going on. Why do I got all these memories that don't really add up to anything anymore? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Does it matter? If it don't matter to anyone else, then it don't matter to me, I guess. Right? So why do I fucking worry about it? I don't know. Because you're that kind of guy. The kind of guy that cares and wants to care, wants people to care back. You know? And it just becomes pointless. It just becomes so fucking pointless. You know? Which leads to, ultimately, it just leads to more fucking depression. And you just crawl back into bed, pull the blankets over your face, and just say, fuck the world. You know, you try, you get smacked, you get smacked, you get smacked. You get tired of fucking trying. You know? And this is my way of trying. You know, getting on here every day, trying to try. You know, trying to capture something, to, you know, to figure something out. I hate the idea of moving forward anymore. I just like movement. Forward means you are working toward an ultimate end, a goal, a purpose, point A to point B. You get to point B, and when there's no point C after point B, you know, you don't want to move forward fast. You just want to keep moving, you know. And that's where it's at. You just want to keep moving, you know. And when you've tried to move forward and nobody wants to go there with you, nobody wants to take that trip, you know. It's like, I'm more comfortable here in my past recollections and, you know, my past stereotypical visions of who you are. Nobody wants to move forward. So you just get tired of trying, you know. And then when you realize that the ultimate goal in moving forward is an end, well, what the fucking point are we moving forward for? You know, I'm going to move sideways, you know, and that's going to slow me down at least, or at least give me some more experiences before I reach the end, right? So wanting to have as many people along on that ride as possible, you know, is one thing. Trying to get those people on board is a complete different thing, you know, especially the people who don't want to take that ride with you because they're too scared of where it's going to go, or they don't want to take the ride with that person because that's not the person that they imagine, you know. That's not the person that I know, right? Because you never knew me. Get to know me before, you know, take a little ride and get to know me before the ride is over. Otherwise, where are we going? We're going nowhere. You know? We're going nowhere. Really, really fast. So for the most part, I'll take that journey alone. For the most part, I won't have a lot of people from the past on that journey with me. You know, it'll be a new adventure without all of those people who mean something, right? As much as you want to have them involved for little bits along the end of the journey, right? If they're just not willing to climb on, I'm not ready for an end. Well, that's great. I mean, we're all on different fucking timelines here. You know, whether you're ready for it or not, shit's gonna happen that you ain't ready for. You know, and either adapt or, you know, cry your eyes out and run away going, I don't want to go there. You know, if that's the case, that's fine. But, you know, if you can't pull your pants up and grow the fuck up, you know, and realize that it ain't always about you, well then, you know, go turn your head and cry, you know. Go change your fucking diaper. Because the reality of life is, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end, and we're all on different schedules, you know. And whether you want to be there at the end of somebody's schedule or not is up to you. You know, if you have the opportunity and someone's giving you the opportunity to be involved in someone's life, regardless of when or where they are in that journey, you know, and you deny that opportunity, well, then that's on you, you know. And it's selfish when you're doing it because, you know, your feelings got hurt. You know, oh, boo-hoo. You know, who's the crybaby now? You know, you point at me and call me the crybaby my whole fucking life, and I come at you with a little bit of fucking reality and say, hey, you know, it's time, let's get to know each other, and you go, boo-hoo. You know, give me a fucking break. Grow up. You know. If family means family and bros means bros, then fucking prove it. Don't just, you know, say it and then give me the shine for months at a time. And then, oh man, I was gonna, but then I got, you know, and then there was this other, and then we had a party, and then, you know, what fucking ever. It only, you know, so many the same excuses so many times only means so much so many times before it don't mean anything anymore. You know, bros only means bros when you reinforce it with bro-like actions. You know, you call me in the middle of the night because you're having a bro experience, you know, and you need a bro there, and I'm there. And then I try to do the same, and you're like, you know, the sound of crickets. You know, how does that make one feel? Like fucking garbage, like used fucking garbage. Like, you know, you're worth my time, but I ain't worth yours. Period. And I'll give you 15 minutes, but I'm going to be drunk as a skunk during it. Right, and I'm gonna say, yeah, it's cool, man. We're bros. Don't worry about it. You want to see my ass? You know, that don't get us nowhere. We don't get to know each other. You don't get to know me. I don't get to know you. You know, we might as well just be drinking buddies. You know, call me when I'm having a beer. I'll give you a call, and you can have a beer, and we'll have a beer together, and we'll smoke some, and we'll drink some, and we'll talk shit, and we'll go, and it won't mean anything. You know, because that's where it's at. I want it to mean something. And if you want it to mean something, then return the messages, you know, or something. But, you know, don't expect me to be there all the time. You know, don't expect me to be ready to talk about what's going on in my life just because you're ready. You know, oh, I got 5 minutes. Tell me what's up. All right, that's enough. I got to go now. Bye. You know, that don't cut it. They don't make it for me. You know, it might make it for you. That may be how you, but no, not me. No. You know. Yeah. Totally. So yeah, I get totally frustrated with family, you know. Totally. And the worst part is when you try to express how frustrated you are, and then you get silence treatment. You know, now you get people deciding, well, how dare he have emotion? How dare he feel or want to be recognized as his own person? It's like that's your response. Your silence tells me that. You know, how dare I make you feel something, you know? How dare I hurt you by saying reality? You know, give me a fucking break. You know? Give me a fucking break. You know, and of course you're out there going, oh, fucking whiner, crybaby. You know? It's a two-way street, man. It's a two-way fucking street. I'm here. You know, I'm in it, you know, to do something, to have some kind of experience here with whatever's left, you know. And as much as I want the family involved, man, I don't want to give me the time of fucking day, man. You know? I get perfect strangers who are more family than my blood relations, literally, you know. And that's fucking sad. You know, that is so sad. When they're there, and you know they're there, and they say they're there, and then you reach out, and it's just, you know, fuck. How many times do you reach out? You stop. And then when they finally decide they want to reach out, you're just like, too little, too fucking late, man. You know, yeah, I want you to reach out, but, you know, not after I've already gone crazy trying to get you to fucking do that. And then what? All of a sudden, you know, you hear something that makes you have emotion, and now your emotion is more important, you know, than mine. Basically, I had all this emotion before and all this desire to discuss what was going on, and it wasn't important to you then. And now that you have a feeling and you have emotion about what's going on, all of a sudden I'm responsible for quelling your emotions, you know. And now I'm responsible for conversing, you know. Once again, you know, stupid me. I should have just shut up, you know, and just gone along to get along, which is what I've been doing my whole fucking life. You know, how dare I speak up and try to be me and be seen as me, you know, and ask for the respect to be seen as an individual without figuring, it's probably going to cost me my whatever relationships are left, right? By standing up for myself. How dare I stand up for myself? Did you hear what he did? He stood up for himself. He wanted respect. How fucking dare he? I'm never going to talk to him again. That's what I get out of all of this. You know, when I am sending messages and I get nothing. You know, it's that I don't deserve the same respect that they require. I just don't. I don't deserve it. I'm not allowed to be looked at as an equal. Everybody else, wow, he stood up for himself. Wow, he went out of his way to let people know, you know, good for him, pat him on the back. But then when I do the exact same thing, it's like, how fucking dare he, man? How dare he say that to me? We don't know each other. Fuck him, man. I know him better than anyone. You know, bullshit. Don't fucking pat yourself on the back saying, you know, how dare he? And I'm, you know, I pat myself on the back for telling him to fuck off. I'm not even gonna tell him. I'm just gonna ignore him. Fuck him. How dare he? How dare he stand up for himself? Finally, after fucking 56 fucking years, stand up and say, look, this is who I am. Get to know me for who I am. Or what's the point? And now all of a sudden I'm in exile because of it. I've been in exile my whole fucking life because I'm different and I'm not really a family member, right? And now all of a sudden, period, I'm gone. I'm wiped, you know. Because I created emotion in someone else that they don't want to have to deal with. Yeah, welcome to my fucking world, right? Give me a fucking... Pull up your fucking pants, all right? Put down the fucking bottle and think that maybe you're not the entire center of the fucking universe. You might be the center of yours, right? But not everybody else. Maybe somebody else has something going on. Maybe somebody else wants, you know, to talk about something else, or has, you know, wants to be seen as something else. You know, maybe you're not really seeing the whole picture. You know, maybe you're imagining most of it, and you really need to investigate the reality of it. And I'm here to say, hey, here's some reality. Let's have... And they're like, fuck you. How dare you have reality? Oh, and then how dare you actually talk about reality? You know, well, you know, I try to talk and nobody fucking listens, right? So if nobody's going to listen, why don't I fucking do it here, right? Nobody's going to fucking listen anyway. So what the fuck do I care? You know? If you care, leave a comment. If you're listening, leave a comment. If you want to forge some kind of relationship in the now, right, with an equal human on a personal level and get to know me as who I am, not who you think I am, or that, stereotype image you have of me, well, then let's fucking talk. If you want to reinforce that stereotypical image you have of me, go look at old fucking photographs and read into your memory about, yeah, that's him. Then do that, okay? Because this ain't that. This is the now. This is reality. If you don't want to deal with that, oops. Don't come to me later going, hey, man, I heard about some reality, but I don't want to talk about it because it's too real. But tell me what's going on so that I can decide if I want to have emotions about that. Fucking tiptoe around bullshit. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of people, hiding from the past, hiding from reality, hiding from emotions. No, I don't want to think about that, so I'm going to imagine it completely different, and then I'm going to reinforce that image and never move past that. That's the way it is, and everybody's just stuck. And they've got me stuck, and I'm not stuck, Fucking bullshit. 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 I'm sure somebody will come along at some point and watch part of this and, not watch any of this in its entirety to understand the full message of what's going on, right? They'll just want instant satisfaction, instant gratification. They'll watch a couple of pieces, snippets, fast forward, pause, look at this and go, oh, right. And then they'll take what they want from it, not what is intended, right? And then they'll completely misunderstand what's going on, right? Oh, man, that guy's a fucking hater, right? Pfft, yeah, wrong message. You're clueless. Man, that guy hates his family. Wrong message. You're clueless. No, that's not where I'm going. What I want is some back and forth, some involvement, some personal, communication. That's the issue. The fact that I've never gotten it. That's the issue. The fact that I'm not worth it in the grand scheme of things to be involved personally. That's the issue. And the fact that I've been going out of my way to change that and just get shined. That's the issue, and it's fucking frustrating as hell. And it leads me to days like this where I just get sick of holding it in. And the rest of my life, I ain't holding shit in. If something comes into my fucking head or heart, it's coming the fuck out because I ain't fucking going to keep carrying it around with me. Only the good stuff. If it's bad, I'm fucking letting it out. If it pisses somebody off, oh well, grow up and deal with your fucking emotions. Not my problem. I don't seem to be anybody else's problem, so you're your own fucking problem. Deal with it. If you can't handle it, put on some fucking big boy pants and fucking deal with it. Straighten your slip, and fucking deal with it. Grow the fuck up. I'm not responsible for your emotions, just like you ain't responsible for mine. If you cause me to have bad emotions, I deal with it. How do I deal with it? Well, you're fucking looking at it. When I get done with this today, am I going to have all of this shit still in my head? Fuck no, because I'm going to leave it here. Leave it here for others to fucking deal with, right? And if somebody comes along and wants to watch this and learn from it and deal with it on a personal level, good on them, And then they might actually learn, and then want to get in contact with me and learn and, grow. Otherwise, this is for me. It ain't for you. I ain't here to piss anybody off or piss on anyone. You don't like it, you ain't got to watch it. If you ain't watching it, it don't affect you. You ain't looking at me, so, you ain't talking to me, so therefore, We ain't affecting each other. So what the fuck is the issue? If you're having emotions about something, well, then there's something going on with you and you need to deal with that. If this brings up emotions in you, well, maybe there's something there and you need to fucking deal with it. If it makes you mad to hear me say these things, well, pick up a fucking phone and let's talk about it. Otherwise, you don't care, obviously. You know? Comment, say something, whoever the hell you are, friend, family, stranger, you know, alien, I don't care who the fuck you are. If it brings emotions up into your body and you cannot deal with it and you ain't got the fucking balls to say something about it and talk about it, well, that's on you. You know, I ain't responsible to your emotions. I ain't beholden to you to make you feel good, you know, and I don't intentionally make you feel bad, so it's not my problem. Deal with it. Pull up your pants and fucking deal with it. You know? Flat out. And if this upsets you, it upsets you. Do something about it. Talk about it. Work something out. Communicate. If you can't do that, well then go away. You know? Because honestly, I just don't have time anymore for bullshit and for people who want others to believe they're bullshit or be full of bullshit, you know, or to follow bullshit. I'm just done with it, you know. If you haven't got time for reality and the reality of reality in the now, then, you know, go live in your fantasy world, you know, go have your instant gratification, you know, go do your duck lip photos and you know, show everybody what a perfect life you have, you know, but, you know, that's on you. I'm here. I can't do any more, you know. I can't reach out and make you pick up a fucking phone or something. That's on you, you know. And if your feelings are too hurt to do that, you know, then that's on you too, you know. I didn't put that in you. That was always in you. I just said, hey, look. And you went, oh, God. That's because you're fucked up, you know. Fucking deal with it, you know. I have emotions and pride, and that's my issue. It ain't fucking your issue. You know, I get mad. Do I allow people to make me mad? Yeah, but it's my fucking issue. It ain't their issue. They didn't, you know, unless they intentionally made me mad, then it's their issue. And then we got a fucking problem. You know, are you intentionally trying to make me fucking mad? Is that what you're doing? Well, then if that's the case, then yeah, we got a fucking problem. If not, well, pick up a fucking phone. You know, and don't expect me to keep fucking sending messages if you ain't gonna fucking give a shit. Whoever the hell you are. Friend, family, stranger, I don't give a fuck. You know? Giving a shit can't be a one-way fucking street, no matter what the fucking issue is. You know, bros means fucking bros, then you put aside the bullshit, right? And you try to make something out of it. If you can't do that, then bros don't fucking mean shit. It don't, you know? And that's where it's at. It either does or it doesn't. And you either show that it does or you show that it doesn't by lack of action, if that's it. You know? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to reach out. You know, and that's all I can do. You know, and that's all I can do, and that's enough for most people. And if it ain't enough for you, then it was never enough. And we got nothing. We're going to go nowhere. See you at the reunion as an old acquaintance, right? And that fucking sucks, because I've been trying for years to fucking reach out to people. And the more I try to say, hey, this is what's going on and this is who I am, the more people don't want to fucking hear that shit. And they don't want to see that I'm somebody else. And they don't want me to change their image. You know? They don't want to grow past. You know? And that fucking sucks. You know? And so you try to change that, and what do you get? Exile. Zip. And the big hose down. And it just leads to days like this. Weeks. You know, this is over a week of fucking depression since I actually stood up for myself and said, hey, you know, can I be me? And I got silence. You know, oh yeah, let me call you back, you know. And then fucking silence. I knew exactly where that was going, right? Thanks, bro. You know, call you right back. I'll call you tonight. We'll talk more about it. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of Broken Heart. I mean, since my father told us that he was diagnosed with cancer, I'm sure that he knew long before he claimed. And I was actually allowed to be back in contact with my father and my brother, and you know, I've been really, really trying to mend the whole situation and to, but at the same time, I haven't been given the courtesy of them trying to get to know me. I mean, I've been going out of my way to be involved and to get involved and to get others involved. And I just felt like I had to say, hey, I'm not the guy that you keep claiming that I am. I'm not that guy that you think I am. Get to know me. And I finally had to say that, and I just got shit on for it, And what does that tell me? That tells me that I'm not worth the time. I'm not worth investing any energy into getting to know, because I don't want to get to know that guy. I want to remember the guy that I used to know, but I don't want to get to know that guy. He's not my kind of guy. Well, whatever. If that's the case, well, then fucking let me know that. Don't fucking string me along. Give me that bro bullshit, because it's just bullshit. Yeah, of course, it's not bullshit on my side, because when you need a bro, I'm right fucking here. And then I'm like, hey, where's my bro? I need a bro right here, right now. And it's like crickets. That should have been a message. That little phone conversation that we had should have been a message to him saying, hey, I'm reaching out, and I but no. What did I get? Yeah, I'll call you back, bro. He ain't never gonna fucking call me again. He don't give a shit about me. He gives a shit about how I make him feel. That's it. I don't make him feel good anymore, so good feeling's gone, so he's gone. That's it. That's the way I've always been in my family, Make me laugh. You ain't gonna make me laugh? Fuck you, get out of here. You're just the family goof. Court jester. Well, you ain't funny no more, so I ain't got time for you. You're not gonna be that stereotype anymore, so go away. That's it. That's it. And so I'm stuck doing a one-man show here. And I don't give a fuck anymore, I just don't. Of course, that's a lie, because it just breaks my fucking heart every time I think about family, knowing full well that they don't think about me the same, They have an image and an emotion, and that's it. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Everything else is bullshit. Because they refuse to, accept me as a unique individual. Somebody different. Somebody other than what they imagine me to be. And that's it. Bang. That is what causes the divide. Wanting respect. And knowing full well that I don't deserve it in their eyes, because where are they when I ask for it? Gone. Completely gone. Somebody may watch a portion of this, misunderstand what's going on, or maybe even get the message, but it will never make it to the intended person the way it's intended, because nobody will ever get they'll get wrapped up in how they feel about it. How did he make me feel? He said stuff that he shouldn't have said. Grow the fuck up. Only you know who the fuck I'm talking about. Only the ones involved know who the fuck you are. And if you can't handle that, you ain't living in fucking reality then. That's where I'm at. That's where I live. I don't live in a duck-licked fucking selfie world. Okay? I know it's hard, for everybody else to not be there, because that's where they want to be, looking cute for the camera, convincing others of their glamorous lifestyle, but that ain't where it's at for me, Reality ain't beautiful, it ain't perfect, but it's real, and I'll stick with that. I'm not one for giving into fantasy. I got science fiction for that. I got turn on the TV and watch all the fantasy I want. I'm not going to bring it into my life. Later, baby. Love you. Have a good day. Careful, drive safe. Call me, we'll do lunch. Yeah. That's my reality. That's my courteous understanding, compassion, I can deal with not getting any of that in the rest of the world at all from anyone, knowing full well that I get courtesy and compassion and understanding and all of that stuff at home from my wife and daughter, from two people who I know honestly love me and care about me as much as I do them, right? That I know. And that's enough. I thought I needed more. For decades I thought that I needed to know that my mother and father and brother and sister loved and respected me on an equal level. And, and I wanted kindness and courteousness and understanding and acceptance. And I never got it. And it wasn't until I created my own family that I was able to get that, right? And I still get none of that from family. Some friends from back in the day, but not from family, which is where you would think that it would really come from, But no. I get more courteousness and kindness and respect from people I've known here for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, than I do from most of the people from my past. Why? Because they see me for who I am now, right? They're not wrapped up in some kind of fucking stereotypical image of me that they have in their head for the last 50 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. You try so hard to pull people into your life, you get shit on, you're like, oh, get the fuck away from me. And then you try really hard to accept them back into your life and say, okay, look, let's do this on an equal footing. Let's try to, and they're like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Okay. So I'm not equal. I don't deserve the same respect. I'm not the same. I'm not a family member. I am the oddball, the odd man out. I am different, It's obvious. I'm shown that my entire fucking life that I'm not the same and I don't deserve to be treated the same. Period. How am I supposed to look at that any other fucking way? Tell me that. You can't fucking tell me that because you fucking did it. And then you come along later, 50 years fucking later, and go, so what's going on? I heard something. Yeah, where the fuck have you been? I've been telling you for 3 fucking years, 4 years, what's been fucking going on, right? Hello? And all I get is, don't fucking worry. Don't fucking worry about it, man. We're bros. You're fine, Okay, I'm fine. We're bros. But don't, expect any more than we're fine. We're bros. And don't expect it to mean any more than the casual way you say it and dismiss my feelings about it, right? Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We're bros. It's all good. Yeah, you're fine, man. There's nothing wrong with you. You're healthy. You're younger than me. You're fine. You can't have arthritis. You can't be sick. You can't have this. Well, gosh, thank you. Now I feel much better now. I'm all better. I'm cured. Yay. Because you said I can't, I must not. Right? But there I was for years saying, hey, man, things aren't looking too good. Maybe we can get together. Look, I'll foot the fucking bill. I'll buy you a plane ticket. I'll get you a place to stay. We'll do stuff. We'll get to know each other, right? Yeah, man, right on. Weeks go by. Yeah, man, right on. Months go by. Yeah, man, right on. Years go by. Yeah, man, right on. We're bros. I get it. All right? I get it. Other things are more important. You know, I get it. Life moves on. Other family is more important. Other things are more important. Other parties are more important, or whatever the fuck the issue is. I get it. I understand now. It's taken me 56 years to figure it out, but I understand. You know, I'm the issue, right? Me being here has always been the issue. Had I never been around, everything would have been fucking fine, right? Right? The family would have stayed together. Mom and dad would have loved each other. Brother and sister would have been perfect together. There would have always been enough food and clean clothes and, you know, but I was there, so therefore things weren't as good as they could have been. You know, all that guy. And now I'm still around. The issue is I'm still around asking for something in return for me being here. Hey, a little back and forth, hey, a little courtesy, a little understanding, acceptance. That's the issue, is that I'm still here, or that I've been here the whole fucking time, right? That's the problem, you know? Why won't he just fucking go away? Jeez, he's still here. Nope, I'm about ready to sign the fuck off for the day. And then if I have the gumption this evening, I'm too fucking depressed, I might be back this evening for a show. But more than likely, I'll be back in the morning to rant and rave, you know, about this fucked up world and my fucked up life and my fucked up family and, you know, my fucked up existence in this fucked up planet, you know. And y'all ain't making this any easier, you know. You bop in, you don't do anything, you don't say anything, you don't realize that we're trying to make a change. You know, and you just take the wrong message and go along your merry fucking way. I get it. You ain't got time for reality. Go live in your fucking fantasy, you know. I ain't gonna be a party to that anymore. You know, I'm just not. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with going along to get along. I'm sick and tired of fucking, you know, reinforcing everyone's stereotypical image of me. Because I got no choice. I gotta go along to get along. So therefore, I gotta, you know, oh, you want me to be funny? Hey, I'm funny. You know, you want me to be goofy? Hey, I'm goofy. You know, you want me to do this? I'm not gonna do that. You know, tell that story, do that thing, say that stuff. You know, look, make that look. You know, I'm beyond that, man. You know, and you're still looking at me, brother and sister. You're still looking at me through those eyes that see me wrong. You know, get rid of all of that shit. Get to know me for who I am, right? I've already done that with you. I've gotten to know you as who you are now, and I've accepted that. Why? Because you're in my life. If you're in my life, then I've accepted that you've changed and you're somebody completely different. Maybe not completely, but I've given over to who you are now, and you just can't. You don't give me the same respect. Right? You still give me that same look, you know. I've actually been involved with a few people from my past, you know, and they can see that while I'm still that same high school kid, I'm also an adult, right? And I allow myself to be that high school kid most of the time. Because I don't want to be old. I want to retain that youth, you know. So that's, you know, but at the same time, there's a reality going on here. And if you don't want to see my reality, you know, which is real reality, not some imagined reality, then, you know, then you want to take the time to do that. Otherwise, you don't. And I see it. And your silence speaks volumes, you know. So if you're watching this and you've taken the time to sit and watch the whole thing and haven't gotten pissed off that, oh, he made me have an emotion I don't want to have, you know, pull up your pants and deal with the fucking emotions. And then learn from it and deal with it and listen. Don't listen to what you want to fucking hear. Listen to what I'm fucking saying, you know. And if you can't do that and you're so wrapped up in how it makes you feel, well then, fine. We got nothing to talk about. If you don't want to have any back and forth, so we can understand what's going on and learn about each other, you know, then there's really nothing going on, you know, because I can't keep doing, you know, the small talk. I can't keep doing the bullshit, you know. I can't keep hearing, yeah, we're going to get together, you know. Now the reunion is a year away, right? And it'd be nice if we had some kind of relationship formed between now and then, so we weren't two perfect strangers showing up fucking talking to each other at the reunion, which ain't gonna get us anywhere, right? It's just gonna get us the same, you know, have a beer, look at my ass, you know. No. I want something real. If you don't want that, it's obvious. Just make yourself obvious, you know. Silence is golden. So there you go. You know, I'm here. What makes me weird is that I give a shit. What makes me weird is that I want something different than everybody else wants nowadays. I want something that I still wanted in the past. I want family, I want friends, I want understanding, you know. I want real relationships, things that I had in the past. You know, of course, all of those things are gone because we've grown and separated and moved on, right? So all of those things that were real back then, well, they're still real back then, but they're not real now, right? And I want to create those real things now, but nobody else wants to create those real things now without bringing the guy from the past that they know, right? Leave him back there. I left your past back there, and I'm getting to know you as a unique individual in the now. Do me the same fucking courtesy, and if you can't, we got nothing going on. You know, it's just going to be an acquaintance type thing. You know, show up on YouTube, watch the video, wave hi, and that's it. That's all we got, because you won't give anymore. You know, and I'm not taking anything anymore. Period. You know, all I can do is give. You know. And if you're willing to give and to take what I got to give, you know, we got something. If you're willing to move, you know, into a new place and get to know me one-on-one on a personal level, then we got something, you know. Otherwise, you know, I got this. I got my wife and my daughter. I got my dogs. I got a few close friends here in town, and that's what I got, you know. As much as I want more, I'm not allowed to have it on my level. I'm not allowed to have it, you know, because I want it my way, right? Everybody else has had it their way, you know. And as soon as I stand up and say, well, can't I? They say, fuck you. No, you can't. And stop asking and goodbye. All right. I get it now. I get it. There's a whole ton of understanding in silence, you know. And then of course it could, you know, weeks will go by and then dude, what's going on, man? I was like, I'm sorry, I was, you know, this thing came up and this was going on, or whatever it is, you know. Whatever it is. I know exactly what it is. I said, hey, I'm me, and you said, well, I don't like that me. I'm gone. Okay. Okay. But I can't keep reaching out to get slapped away. It hurts too fucking much. Every day I got a broken heart over this fucking bullshit. You know, every day I got to sit in silence. And I'm sick of sitting in fucking silence, you know. I got this. This is my outlet. This is my way to tell the world I'm fucking sick of it and I ain't going to fucking take it anymore. You know, you're either there or you're not. If you're there, fucking prove it. If not, you've proved it by not being there. You know, where am I when you fucking need me? I'm right fucking here. You pick up the phone and what? I answer the fucking phone. You send me a message, I answer the fucking text. Why? Because we're bros and I'm here. Period. End of fucking story. Nothing past that, you know. If that's what it is, and that's what it is, you know. You know, bros ain't the fucking end all right? There has to be some something in there to create the whole bro thing, you know, some back and forth, some understanding, some acceptance, some learning of who we are, you know, and just the word bros falls short of all of that, you know. It's one-sided when one person is there when you need them and the other just is not. All right? That doesn't say bros. That don't even fucking say family. That don't even say blood, man. That says acquaintance. You know, that's what you do when an acquaintance calls you out of the blue, somebody that you met at a bar, and they call you and they want to talk about something that's bugging them, or they need help with something, right? You ignore those people, okay? They're an acquaintance. You don't owe them anything, okay? That's me. In the family, in the grand scheme of things, that's me. That's the role I play. When I'm needed, then they require me. Otherwise, we don't really need that guy. He's not really a part of the family, so don't worry about it. His feelings won't be hurt. He knows that he's, you know, he's the one that says, you know, don't bother me, right? In your head, but you never ask me, really. You never ask me. So how would you know? Because you assume, you say, well, that's what he wants. And then you drive by for years and never stop in to say hello. You know, you don't go out of your way to say, he lives right up the street, let's go. No, because you don't want to. Because you don't fucking want to. I get it. Yeah. So there you go. Sick and tired of being sick and tired of being the fucking family whipping boy, sick and tired of being shit on, pissed on. I'm just fucking sick and tired of it all. You know? So where does that get me? It gets me no place, man. And I think the only thing that I can do at this point is fucking say goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow, see you tonight. Have a good rest of your day. Be nice. Be kind. Spread peace and love. Try not to shit on people. If somebody calls you or texts you, answer them back, right? Stay weird. Love you. Fuck it. I'm out of here.